The views expressed by our guests in the following video are solely the opinions of our guests and do not necessarily reflect the views and or opinions of the Ollah 7 podcast show. Viewer discretion is advised.
Hello guys, welcome back to another week, and this is the trending series as usual. My name is DJ Ollah 7 Owen Madondo, your host, and of course I am with my host, co-host.
Yes, it's your good vibes all the time. And if you're just tuning in, make sure you go in the YouTube and also subscribe and do share if you're on Facebook. Make sure everyone is logged on and seeing what's happening in the studio today, because obviously the baddest team is here.
The baddest in the game.
Baddest team.
Undisputed.
Yeah. I actually don't know. Wena ungenapi
you get
umuntu omlomo unyaka uthi wena why
uyazambukile but yanetsa uyazambukile. I don't know who started that.
You know what, I've been looking for the actual page and the actual account that really started it, and I'm just looking good in but
yeah, it's fun. It's really fun.
Everything lomunyaka.
Yeah,
lomunyaka.
It's okay, guys. It's a brand new week. Like, you know, we always say it's not really brand new because it's a Wednesday.
Yeah, it's a Wednesday.
When it's a Wednesday,
it's called a hump day, by the way.
Hump day.
Yes, it's a hump day.
Okay.
So every week when it's a hump day, because it's a day when we're getting a hump from the start of the week and the end of the week. So it's a hump.
It's a hump.
It's a bridge.
Oh.
Yeah, you call it a hump day.
It's okay. At least I've learned something new now.
Yeah.
It's okay. But before we go any further, we've got our friend from Naki Drilling.
Oh yeah.
Remember, we've got about 2 weeks. For the past 2 weeks, we've been talking about borehole drilling.
That's true.
Boreholes and all sorts. Because now because when it comes to borehole drilling, it means you're investing lots of money into this.
That is very
Remember,
true.
it's you're spending like thousands of dollars, you know, to make sure that you've got water at home. Then the next thing you're told, apana mvura, yet we have drilled. So we want to hear from Naki, so the importance of borehole siting.
All right.
Is it the owner who then suggests, say, is a bore up, or it's the drillers who not it's to talk a bore up.
All right.
So let me talk to my sister here. My sister, maybe just introduce yourself and then we jump into it.
Thank you so much, DJ Ollah. My name is Violet Samaneka from Naki Drilling. So today, ndichataura pamusoro pe-siting kuti zvinokosherei kuita borehole siting.
Yes.
Chekutanga, it's understanding kuti kana ndida kuchera borehole, what procedures am I supposed to take, right?
Yeah.
So chekutanga, it's doing your survey. We are simply saying tiri kutarisa your ground, we are studying your ground kuti tuone kuti point inokwanisa kuchereka mvura, pane ma-possibilities ekuti tikwanise kuwana mvura ndepapi. Uye zvakare survey inotibatsira zvakare kuziva kuti patinoita survey paya anditika tinoona zvakare kuti underground pakamira sei pasi. We study the rock formations underground. Yes, and it also helps you to know the correct type of casing to be used.
Yeah.
Right. So it also helps you to understand the water fractures underground. So doing survey, it helps you to plan ahead and also to budget.
Yeah.
Exactly. Because survey, inokupa the minimum depth to be recommended and also the maximum depth to be recommended. And also what to expect. Are you expecting moderate bore or average one, or the bore which is very prolific? Yes.
Okay, I get. So mubvunzo unozvachibvunza nonakawanda because ndinoza kuti vanhu vakawanda ndo vanosugesta kuti nini pamba pangu pakamira so yadhenga yakamira so isai bore up. So now tikunzwa kuti pasiting machine iyi ndinotaura kuti apa ndo pane mvura yakati nedepth yakati minimum toiona pakati nezvakati. So kana manje nini maona kuti mvura yakawanda iri kuseri kwemba yeti riga rikwanisa kuenda kuseri kwemba zvinofamba sei?
Okay, isusu as Naki Drilling, what we advise is that tikakuitirai survey tiri isusu tine mafactors akawanda atinotarisa. It's not just about kuti muri kuda kuti borehole renyu riende kuseri kwemba kana kuti riende kufront kwemba oro riende kupi, but tinotarisa zimafactors akasiyana-siyana kuti macables emagetsi ari kumbofambawo sei, macables emvura like mapipes emvura ecouncil ari kumbofambawo sei, uye zvakare maseptic tank enyu ari kusaidi ripi, because hatigoni kuchera borehole paside neseptic tank. Yes, the water will be contaminated and it won't be safe for drinking, right? Yes, saka tinotarisa zvinhu zvakafana naizvozvo. Uyezve point yamataura yekuti for example mawana point yenyu iri behind the house pamwe maybe hapana accessibility yakanaka-naka. Isusu as Naki Drilling tine ma-equipments akasiyana-siyana, different sizes of ma-rigs atinawo. We also have those crow rigs atinokwanisa kupusha even nemaoko, kwanisa kupenetrate kuenda kuseri behind your yard. So tikangokwanisa kungowana at least a gap of 3 meters, 2.5 to 3 meters or so, takutokwanisa kupenetrate kuenda kuseri, takutokwanisa kunochera. Saka patinoita survey ipapo we recommend our siters vanonyora pasi zvese kuti space yakamira sei, pakamira sei pamba pavo, zvataona zvisingaiti kana pasingakodzeri kuti tichere borehole, tinokubudirai pachena zvakare. Tinotaura kuti apa padhuze nemaseptic tank mvura yenyu inenge isiri safe. Uye zvekare kana musina mvura muyadhi menyu tinokuudzai kuti apa hapaiti kuchera. Maybe if you can communicate with your neighbor or apply to council, pamwe maybe panokwanisa kuchereka, it's outside your yes.
Okay. Wow. This is really important information that one should know before they even decide to drill a borehole.
That's very true.
Nekuti zvimwe tozotaura kublema vanodhira zviborani wadhilo pasingaite, mvura yakuvava, mvura yane sewage, mvura yane chi. Tine manga ma-communities akafana ma-locations ane mapipe already ari kudhuzhuka ma-sewage already. Area yacho yese iyo iri kudhuzhuka ma-sewage, but toda mvura futi momo totaunza borehole kuti ridrille. Mvura iri kuerera yema-sewage here, does it really then affect mvura yatotora pasi apo patoda kutira borehole?
Okay, tine zvatinotarisa kuti masuweji aya kungoyerera chete here kana kuti ari kurioriginatira papi. Saka isu patinochera borehole hatikwanise kuenda padhuze nesystem yesewer system. Saka we study kuti sewer system yenyu iri kufamba sei before we say we to drill a borehole at this point. So given an opportunity yekuti maybe it's close to ma areas anenge aine ma pipes emvura, pane mukana zvakare wekuti tikakusaitirai even outside your yard. For example, you mentioned kuti it's a community borehole, right? Yes. Saka if it's a community, tine mukana wekuti tinongosurveya the whole area, like for example it's 35 households, we just survey the whole area of the 35 households, then itokupai some points but kuti apa ndo panokwanisa kuchereka borehole. Kana iri nzvimbo, okay, for example before we drill a borehole munoto apply ku council, not apa Manyami council anditika atingocheri borehole, tine vanhu vanotedzerawo mutemo zvakare. So before we drill takuitirai survey, you go to the council, then you tell them I want to drill a borehole, and vachakubvunzai ma-coordinates area yenyu, movaratidza kuti apa ndo patinoda kuchera borehole. Ivo vacharekomendawo kuti panoita here kana kuti hapaiti, kana pachiita then we proceed.
Nah, that's really something chakakosha. Matara mazgwa akanaka. Now mubvunzo akada kubvunza wekupedzisira nekuti ticharamba tichizoda kuti imwe chazobvunza zviri sondorotera. Mibvunzo inoitora pana ndeimwe inoya nevanhu mushure mekita kurukura nemi, vanhu vanga nemibvunzo yakasiyana-siyana yokuti tinoona vanhu vazhinji pakuchera borehole you know 45 meters, 50 meters, whatever the meters. How do I count the meters kuti so far ndachererwa ma-meters 50 because andipasi kupinda pasi?
Okay. Chekutanga you have to understand kuti marodzi edu atinoshandisa pakuchera, mishini yedu yatinoshandisa pakuchera iyaye ine marodzi akasiyana-siyana masize. Usually we use 3 meters, but also tine mamwe anenge akareba 4 meters or 4 point marodzi size emarodzi. However, you can measure using casings. Casings tiri kuti ndiwo mapipe ayaye atinoisa muborehole anosecure our well stream kuti risa collapse. Yes. So the casing redu, the length of the casing is 6 meters long. That's its length. So for example, we drilled 60 meters. It means we are saying 60 divided by 6. The number of casings to be installed in your borehole, they are going to be
10.
10, yes.
60 meter ball.
Yeah.
Yes. And you can actually measure because ndikusangana navanhu vakawanda mukaenda pamafacebook pachi vari kuvharwa vari kuti ndakacheresa ndakati ndikuda 60 meters but ndakazomeasure ball rangu rikawanikwa riri pa40 meters.
Exactly.
So we encourage you iwewe as the owner of the project kuti patiri kuchera ball
Ivepo.
iva uripo.
Sacheresa negotsi vari kuchera vari kurorohwa kuzatofamba.
And let the guys explain to you every process zvese zvavari kuita.
Yes.
The double casing, the process of casing, before they case, they flush the ball,
Yes.
everything. Understand each and every stage before vabva panzvimbo. And also give us feedback.
Okay.
Wow.
Yes.
Thank you so much, Mr. Violet, for giving us this vital information. Before I let you go, do you have any promotions at Naki Drilling?
Yes, we
Yeah?
do have promotions. Currently, we are saying if you come to Nakiso, you want to drill your bore, pay your bore drilling here in Harare. It's very cheap. Kuchingobhadhara bore rako, ukangobhadhara drilling yako, tunokwanisa kutokuitira survey for free.
Wow.
Here in Harare. And also the other thing, we are not just saying it's bore drilling only. We are also doing bore installations, pump installation, and also drip irrigation as well. We are also working with different organizations mahombe kuonawo kuti zveshuwa zvatiri kuita tiri Nakiso chokwadi sezita redu. Yes.
Thank you so much. So how can people get in touch with you?
Okay, our offices are pa number 55 Churchill Avenue in Alexandra Park or 36 St. Athens Bluffville. So our phone number is 0779 935 566. Yes, you can also get in touch on my direct line 0716 047 236. 0716 047 236. Yes.
Okay.
Wow. I'm always learning every day.
Yeah, we never stop learning. Every day we get something new.
That's
so
true.
That's it from Naki Drilling. Wadaitara na panaba, you get in touch with them on the numbers. Zavanga jisanangura panaba, and make sure you now know who to invite, kumba kwenyu, who to approach and engage. Kuti mueni mabos anemvura inobatika kumba kwenyu. Stay tuned. I will be right back with more juicy stories on Trending Stories. Welcome back to Trending Stories here on our number one podcast in the land, the Ollah 7 podcast, and it is undisputed that this one is the biggest podcast in the land. We do have how many programs here? We've about 5 programs, right?
Yeah.
We have 6 programs, right? Six programs. We've got on Sunday, we've got Life and Stuff
with Normanize.
With Normanize. And Monday, we've got Gina's Kids.
Oh, yeah.
With Yayha. Then Tuesday, we've got On the Spot with yours truly, the Chief Emma Show. On Wednesday, we give you the trending stories like today with yours truly again, Yayha and Ollah. Then on Thursday, we've got Yvonne with Sport. And then Teen Talk. When is Teen Talk?
Okay, so we have a new show. It's called the Teen Talk on Fridays at 3 p.m.
Teen Talk on Friday.
With DJ Safia.
Wow.
That's nice.
So it is the biggest podcast. You know?
Yeah.
It's not like those one-man band thing, right? Why you say Am I lying?
No, you're not.
Huh?
No.
Yeah.
Hey, man.
No, but for real, it's not like those one-man band. We are a team. We're a family.
Big podcast.
A big podcast. Like when we say it, we mean it. Because remember, do podcasts in the trending, to serious stuff, to the bora.
The programming is amazing.
Koka. Ndakanzwa katakurwa kuHeroes Acre Mswemandi.
Oh yeah. I saw the minister of Home Affairs. No, he was just giving reference to our recent podcast with On the Spot with Joshua Maponga. Where he said we need dictators instead of democracy. When he was saying no, my actions, not the democracy. And he was saying did Joshua Maponga gadaro president. I was like, oh yeah, where? So I was tempted to then post the clip. Say, let me just post it.
Probably akasvika because kona minister home affairs.
Wovhawatotaura pamberi pevanhu.
National heroes ega.
Mukuru wakagara wakateerera.
Mukuru wenyika zvakasvika.
Podcast ziri kuonekwa.
No, this is international stuff. It's not just a national thing. It's international. Because regionally, South Africa, they know us. I've been to South Africa, when I was with Master KG recently, Aisha, Master KG was like, okay, I watch your stuff. So we went with Master KG.
Wow.
As big as he is, he watched our stuff, then who's going to tell us?
It's say name. It's no peace and name.
But the patch of appreciate.
That's very true.
We are hot. Humbly, we are hot.
Yes. That's
Okay, by the way, it's okay. As we kickstart the show, Yayha, you're looking good.
Oh, thank you. Indochina.
It's a compliment, right? What Chena is or Chena?
I didn't know China.
Okay, that's a very good thing. But when I'm Chinese, when I Chena, so Chinese, right? There's a difference between Chena and Chinese.
Natural Indochina.
Because when I Chena, so you should give compliment to the person who bought the stuff, right?
Yeah.
So
Thank you.
So our first issue today, when love and loyalty clash, today the issue of Dziwarasekwa Thompson drama.
Oh, yeah.
Did you see that one? Dziwarasekwa man, Stanford Marutsa. Hey, I almost said Marutsi. No, I almost said that. But when I read that, I was really...
You're reading fast. Okay, Marutsa.
So fast, right? Yeah, Stanford Marutsa dragged his wife, Daisy Masembura, to civil court. You know what the case is? He accuses her of stealing $1,500 to help her ex-husband, specifically to buy a tombstone for the ex-late brother. The matter is still before the court, head by Magistrate Johanna Mukwesha. Right, guys. $1,500 to give to your ex-husband, your ex-husband, then $1,500
1.5
to put the tombstone on the ex's brother.
1.5.
That's so dramatic, man.
1.5.
Hilarious.
Womanhood, we are proud.
It's hilarious.
I'm very proud.
Flabbergasted. I'm flabbergasted.
We are happy.
Womanhood, sisterhood,
everywhere. Firewood, we are happy.
Guys,
Who
who does that? But honestly, who does that?
She did.
a kind person.
A kind person.
It's kindness. It's an act of kindness, right?
Ex munhu anotadza izvezvi pauri utori ex yemumwe munhu. You understand?
But how does the other man, do you then feel for the current husband? How does he feel?
No,
when
current
he knows,
husband,
okay, I'm working, we are saving, and then you steal the money from me, then you give it to your ex-husband, your ex, meaning to say it didn't work, and you got nothing to do with that ex-husband, then you went on to spend money.
Tikaramana zviri kuti have nothing to do with each other.
Guys, come on.
Kuwirirana pari pazvinhu zvinenge mari pamwe towirirana.
No.
Yes.
No, guys.
Plus ukaona waona mukadzi kana ane mukadzi ane mwoyo wekupa woramba.
Kana chachiri chikwereti aifanira kutuma murume wake kuti baba ina munobhadhira kuti mabani.
Ndo vanonzi matoxic ex. Isusu vamwe we are very flexible. Nopo ex something. Munhu wese ex.
But right, on a serious note, ndikunyatsofunga kuti gatore nyaya iyi zvakanaka. Tisingamani. Ndiri kufunga kuti murume akarambana nemukadzi, the ex husband akazopuwa mari 1,500 ndobva anyatsogara vaagari ndoda kusati tombstone rablas. Who approached who consulted who about this tombstone event, right? That's the first thing here. So if it means kuti the husband approached the ex-wife to say, my mwana kune tombstone ramkomaningi bamninonyora bamukuru wenyu, whichever way, I need your help. Okay, tombo daro zvakafamba nenzira yekuti baba, I mean madam approached who approached the ex-husband to say ndakanzoti kune nyaya dzematombo muda kuita, so I can give you money. Why then was she offering, or why did she offer that money? I said, Dombo, what is the issue behind, there's something behind, chiri behind, then totarisa nyaya iyo tobva ipapo totarisa nyaya ye tomboti murume uyu aka-approacha mukadzi uyu achimukumbira for money, right? What was it for? Aifanira ku-approacha ka baba. So it means kuti nemamwe mashoko ndiri kuti conversation.
You want to know the conversation behind kuti zvakazosvika sei kuti mari
ini ndiri kujekerwa kuti conversation haina kutangira paThompson. It means kuti vanhu ava vagara vane an ongoing nyaya dzavo
nyaya dzinosiyana
Thompson but
ndikurakidza imwe engo yamusingaone manje.
Yes.
So when it comes to other way around, ini ndiri mukadzi, I'm an ex wife to someone, ndine mwana naye, ex, let's say vane vana vane mwana 1 or 2. And ndinobva ndaapproacha baby daddy vangu ndobva tinodaita tombstone mukoma wangu akashaya, it's okay for baby daddy to andipe mari. You understand? It's the other way around. Ini ndakarambana nemurume uyu handi but anochengeta vana vake, ini ndane mumwe murume ndobva ndataurawo nyaya yangu baby daddy apoti ndotoisa makuvani maiguru venyu ex maiguru kana kuti ndongotara impassing papa itodiwa 1.5 then murume uyo bva anoba mari kune current wife yake kana yavo yavari kuseva vese obva uya ubva ndibatsira. Is it a bad thing? Ndiri mukadzi.
It's still a bad thing.
It's still a bad thing. Saka hapana kubatsirana unofanira kuitika. Kana kuti maybe
there should be channels. I'm not saying one must not help the other part, right?
Akakumbira mari baba baba ningi vandisendera message yautaka 1.5. Remember is also kana baba ivana kana kuti ex husband is that relationship. Sana ndati wapi 1.5 over what handiskuda. And kwa muskuda waiti ngowabatsiro wadaita zvemakuva haiwa handiskuda wozongotora mari obva wazonopa.
It's still wrong. It's very wrong. It's unjustifiable. You cannot justify that issue. Listen, the issue here, there should be, or there are channels to follow. When you want to help your ex, whether husband or wife, there should be channels.
That is,
let me be very clear.
That is true.
To avoid unnecessary infidelity issues and these kufungirana things, number one, your ex-husband or your ex-wife kana achida kupa rubatsiro ku the other side, whether ndokunevana. Remember you are my ex-wife, right? Unevana vangu but atsugarisana tese. If I want to give you stuff, I must not come and give you directly.
Unofana kuyana madam.
Probably you are married.
Current madam do unofana kundi.
Right? Yeah. Okay. Current madam should be in between, or munyai should just play that role to say ndatumwa zvinhu uyu, or ana mama wakabereka mukadzi vanofana kuti vapuwe zvinhu izvi ndinoti mama ambuya mozopa mwana wenyu or something like that. Then kana kuri side kwangu ndine vana, this woman should also approach and also respect my wife or through mukadzi wangu amozopa baba mwana parcel.
That is very true. But another thing, since Nyaya is chiri accused, I have a strong feeling yekuti there could be a situation yekuti mukadzi uyu could marriage yavi ndiye ari kuwana mari. You understand? More than murume. Maybe ndiye ari kuunza mari yakawanda.
Uti 1,500 tengeri yake.
Yes. Mukadzi obva decide kupa 1.5 kune ex-husband yake. Because power raanaro ndere kuti ndiri kuunza mari yakaita sei yakawanda kumba.
You brought up another wrong.
No.
Another wrong.
This is an accused story.
It's an accused. Still accused.
Tikupama two ways kuti mukadzi pamwe ndiye breadwinner ku new marriage and avatura 1.5. Avad said no, nemari andotambira 1.5 ndaubatsira ex murume wangu. Anzvisa. Baba vota skiva kutobatsira ex murume avasi open mind to help ex murume. Vavachenda vakati no akaba mari chi 1.5. Zvinogona kudaro futi.
Yeah, he still justified. The man is still justified.
Options.
Because it's another wrong. That's why I said you've brought another wrong. Which wrong? Yekutoti whether mukadzi ndari kuwana mari, but the fact we are living under the same roof name, same room wako, then you send the money to this guy behind my back.
Mari mukadzi aina roof. Ipapo ndinoko mari mukadzi aina roof.
You see?
Musatomomisa
that's where everything is going wrong
mari dzevakadzi ne.
That's where the problem is.
Mukadzi afana kutongowana kudarika murume. ndo panoitwa madecisions ari bogus
but
ipapo.
apa kana ari kuwana mukadzi nyaya mari yakawanda, it means haasi kurespekta murume wake already.
Ndo zvinotoitika mukadzi akawana hapana respect.
This is a recipe for disaster unless murume achazotada kunegotiate nemukadzi kuti azoda kuti next time achitora kuti aramba achichengetwa wake, asi kana ari yemurume ari kuchengeta mukadzi, no, there must be a stop to this nonsense.
Plus kana mukadzi akababa pakaoma ona kusvika pakuba
saka I don't know,
because my issue is why is it going to civil court ikunza panga ndida kuzosvika
civil court ndinosetla nyaya dzemadisputes akafanana
but abai theft kai
aiwa theft yacho manje inenge ine malevels
ino yati 1.5 handi ilevel iripo ine kaliwe kekuti pana anogona ari kuwana. Yes, if you steal 1.5 criminal case waba 1.5
kucivil court inenge yatoonekwa inenge pavetting inenge kadomestically
ida follow up tichauzwa tichokani chichabuda
iri kufamba zei but
but I think generally
but isn't this Aisha, isn't this like emotional cheating or just unresolved loyalty? What do you think?
Like vakamboonana vashayana. That is the little.
Iwe saka uri kuti ma ex edu ese turungu aone here shamwana.
Kana makamboona iwe uri kufunga kuona semaonera ndiri kuita izvezvi ka. Vakamboonana vashayana.
Kana.
Payakambojenga inojengazve.
Kana.
Yai.
Kana.
Mvura ikanga ndipeka naye napo.
Masase yenye kuda kukura kakarisa vanhu. But also if you're in the comment section, tell us what you think about this whole story kuti mukadzi anosvika pakutora mari yababa unopa baba vanga vambori baba. Do you think there's a relationship behind what would have triggered all this to happen? But also what we always advise is if you're in any marital situations, you can set up somehow. It's always good to respect your partner and 100%. Communicate with your partner. Be it pakuda kutorwa mari, pakuda kushandiswa mari, it's good. Ndafunga kutora chakati. Even varume nowadays, there's a high idea kuti murume since achiwana more anogona kuti even my financial decision asika consult mama nekuti maybe mama avaende kubasa mama anosara nevana. Sometimes it's good to sit down with your husband, you know, and your wife and say mama ndafunga kutenga Benz, ndafunga kuti takuchinja takupinda muGLE takumbotenga track. Vamwe vakadzi kumba vanongogara uona pauya GLE pauya track mangwana ya Honda Fit mangwana ya Vuzu. Sometimes you get to not even understand financial situation. Those no lead even my issues ekuti murume akazonzi ashayika makadzi chavo, you don't know business remurume wako, you don't know where to claim money madira atauro ene manje vanhu vafaya mangwana mari dzemurume tinongotinya fanike sitova tatotinya totonyarara. But it's good to have a financial background in marriage.
100%. You know? I also have a question to our viewers there. You know, should people remain connected to their, you know, ex family after break up?
Ex-family.
Yeah.
Okay.
After break up.
Ex my guru.
Yeah. Should they remain connected? This is my question, because now probably you are now married to someone else, but should you then be connected or still be connected to that previous family? Is it a good thing? Is it not a recipe for disaster? That's a question to our viewers. Tell us what you think in your comment section.
Yeah, but now we have a disturbing story coming from Ugoguma Darwe, where a boarding school student was brutally attacked by a school staff member. At Ruya Adventist High School, the head chef Leslie Biswell allegedly locked a female student inside a toilet and beat her so badly, and she ended up with a broken hand and multiple bruises. The victim, Meloshans Kashingaidze, says she was accused of gossiping, but to this day she doesn't know what the gossip was being punished for. Melo Shens says she was tricked into entering the toilet thinking she was going to clean it, only to be locked inside and attacked with thick sticks, severed tissues and bare fists. She said, I quote, she said to me, I quote, "Ndichakurova kusvikira wanyarara upfidze kuita makuwa." I cried for help, begged for mercy. She only stopped after she had my bone snap. Melo Shans was later rushed to Mount Darwin Hospital by the school's deputy head, Mrs. Zingoni, but without a police report, something that hospital staff refused to accept. The refusal helped to expose the cover-up as word spread through the school. Students and some staff members began demanding justice, and the chef was finally arrested 3 days later. Shockingly, this isn't the first time in the headlines. Leslie Bezos, the chef, was previously reported for beating students at Junction Adventist School before she was transferred to Ruya.
This is a very disturbing issue to hear, because sometimes vana vanorohwa maschools. It shows how sometimes these teachers, these school staff, sometimes they abuse our kids there because
but chef anorohwa
apa inyaya pane guwa riri rakaita rakambata pakurenda kanasa relationship. You never know
from the
what
word
the-
go handi
we don't know the
from the word go chef ane right yekutomborova here handi chef basa rake kuita kuti vana vachi
aiwa ane right ndiani
teacher head
apo nani
ne
No, I think our constitution says no to corporal punishment.
exactly
hapasina munhu achavo
azvibvumidzwi
Unofanira kuita inonzi
I.
it's something to do with productive punishment.
Yeah.
where you're supposed to do something that helps with
Kunonga
character
marara.
building.
yeah
kuti
instead
budai munonhonga marara
saka zvekurova vana izvi hazviite but it means kuti yanga itori dhudhu yakatoitika apa
Aiwa, it was an assault.
kaudhudhu kakaitika kandike kuti pane mafeast akaitofamba
Aiwa.
zvibhakera zvazvindotopera papinda nyaya zvibhakera
vana
but papinda zvibhakera
dhudhu kurovana
but chef vatokuratidza vangato nevendeta it means kuti vanga vasiri kurova kwediscipline ndikokuti wakutondisaiza iwe dambo kukiya
Because vachoita man to man.
Eh.
Vakasina zvekuti inini ndiri munhu
right ndo pane point yacho kuti no the way iri kudzitsanangurwa apa kai yaiti gatokiyani I think I was going to use the shorter word which is a bit rude kuti kati but it's okay kuti gatopedza masports acho ipapo but the thing is this issue yaexposa abusive hune mamwe maschool staff ari muzvikoro zvakasiyana-siyana anenge achiwa kuvana only that this child akabva azokwara ruoko zvakapa kuti aende kuchipatara then kuchipatara kwabva kwanzi hatikwanisi kumurapa without a police report but had it been kuti chipatara chabvuma kumurapa zvakadaro zvachangopera zvakadaro and nyaya idzodzo dzinochingofushirwa under the carpet but I don't know how the school is going to take this and how the school authorities are going to discipline this chef.
all right so I just want to do an overview of corporal punishments before we go in further because I knew it ndakambo cover the story.
Okay.
So corporal punishment in Zimbabwe is no longer allowed and it remains lawful in homes and other settings. That's inclusive of some schools. So, yes. Unokwanisa kurohwa
But
mwana.
tichiri kuzvionera but
Yes.
it's okay.
So in the legal system and setup, corporal punishment as a sentence for a crime was outlawed in 2019 in court. But at the same time, places like my home setup, even in certain schools, you can still know it's legally permitted to even do it. So that's why you find some schools anokwanisa kuti mwana anorohwa. There's some schools anorohwa. But pane extend pakutariswa kunzi chii chikuitika in 2017 vakai-outlaw but still there are some rules ekuti unozoona kuti no mwana arohwerwe masetups and even the intensity yekurohwa kwemwana so mwana kurohwa anotokwanisa kurohwa mamba mako foni ogona magachizwa
usati saize
because unenge wakusaiza dai
asi zikazotyora ruoko
But mbama inoprovoka guys.
zikazotyora ruoko
aiprovoke kana uri mwana kana uri mwana mawedze kuti
pane panombofungwa kuti ticha
ashande
ndakudzosera
kuafrica provoke kuti mama mandiprovoka
but mateachers
Teacher mandiprovoka
I think ndakaona kuti ivo maticha acho futika vanotoona kuti apa panoroveka pane vamwe vapfano vekutika bhurugwa riri riri kuchora murova kaanza ati
Jara iko.
ndari mudhara ndozvamada here ari kuti handozvamada here arova henyu
ende ndinokurova
ende akakurova kana pakatenza soka
unotozvifila kana mabhonzo ako kuti
ndichirongodzoka ichi ndikanyadziswa mberi yechikoro bcause kune zvimwe zvofana zvezvine pawa hazvo zvakasimba zveragibhi hachino kudhinda hachino kugara matundu but it's not good but at the same time I wonder why the school was trying to hide this incident.
but my question also is ndianaka transfer ava chef ava kubva kujunction adventist now vakuenda kuruya munhu iyenge abva atisanangura reason yake yenge rebu because vanzi vanga varuva futi mastudents ikoko so why would you transfer them? Why pasina kumiswa why pasina investigatewa and why the school yeruya yacho wanted to cover up that
This, incident.
kuti mwana gangorapwa chinyararire.
I suggest to maybe we also ask our viewers what does justice look like in a case like this. Maybe you guys give us your thoughts, your views.
Even vabereki vacho vari vane vana vari kuruya as well, they have reports wekuti ava chef avane futi mamwe maincidents because most ukona paripoti yeka1 panogona pachitoro 1 chinyararire hapana ari kuchoka bhonzo pari vanhu vari kungorohwa kunzi chef panozokurova vozokuita sei vakuvharira mutoilet ongonyara
kuri kunzi kumboyazana pachikoro kunotaura nevana just
check up on your kids.
We might hear some stories.
Some very fun
stories.
Trauma.
It's so scary. You know what's sad about boarding schools? Yes, they're good because mwana anonazozidza but in some instances like this unozonzwa case yekuti mwana akarwara kuchikoro, right, then chikoro vachichayo kavha kurara kwemwana wozonzwa mwana afa. We have had a lot of incidents mwana akazonzi musoro uzonanzi akazosvika afa, but some things anoda mumbotariswa nekuvhenekwa ipapo because vana at the end of the day.
As we move on, ladies and gentlemen, there's even my ladies, not gentlemen, the ladies only.
No, there's
an opportunity for you to make money and be on vacation. They are looking, for egg donors in Jamaica. So there's a video that I'm going to play, because we talk about donors. Let me just play this video.
We need egg donors. Are you willing to participate in an egg donor program? Well, come to Jamaica. We need egg donors between the ages of 22 and 30. You have to be of a normal weight and you have to also be healthy and willing to take injections for at least 2 weeks. But you'll be required to be in Jamaica for at least 3 weeks to get through the whole treatment process. Don't worry, we will provide your full airfare, accommodation, as well as food and transportation to and from the center, so you'll be well taken care of. Also, the compensation is quite attractive. So call us today if you're willing to donate.
Wow. So it's actually interesting, and I wonder, what egg donation is. I want to ask, do you understand what egg donation is all about, Aisha?
Yeah.
Please share with us.
Okay, so it's a process where a woman donates her eggs to help another individual or couple conceive. So it typically involves hormonal stimulation, egg retrieval, and sometimes genetic screening.
Okay. So who can be an egg donor? We want to know.
It's usually women between the ages of 18 and 34, but who are physically healthy, non-smokers who have regular periods, and vanoenda under medical and psychological screening.
Oh, I see. Maybe. Do you know what the process is like? Because that's where the confusing part. Okay, how do you then donate the egg and the procedure actual?
All right. So what they do is they'll give you hormonal injections to stimulate egg production. That is our progesterone and estrogen, the ones that cause menstruation. That is for between a week and 2 weeks. Injections.
Okay.
And then once the eggs have been produced, a minor surgical procedure to extract the eggs. But also side effects from hormone injections, that is mood swings, headaches, bloating. And then there's also risk of infection if I retrieve my eggs.
Okay. Yeah, it's really tricky. So what happens to the egg?
So they often use in vitro fertilization treatments for those who are finding it difficult to conceive. And then so they'll just store them in nitrogen storage.
Yeah.
Okay, and then
when I'm ready to conceive,
so are there any legal and emotional considerations there?
Pane nyaya dzema-anonymous donation laws kuti should the person who's donating eggs to you anonymous mwana wachona akazoda kuziva mai vake anobvumidzwa vaziva here, and should they always remain anonymous kuti kana zai ratoenda rari, because sometimes women feel attached to mwana wangu. Ndo mamwe ma-issues aripo.
Okay. Now let's discuss about this one. Should egg donation be limited to women with certain educational or ethnic backgrounds? Let's say one are intelligent, ethnic Zulu or whatever. I don't know. Some agencies seem to prefer this. Is that fair though? Because one of the prefer let's imagine it is maybe even race, say black or white, colored, Indian. Does it really matter?
I think it does, because when it comes to sperm donations, it's equally the same. I can describe what I want. Which is sperm, white or black, this height. So it all depends as well. It can also be the same consideration when it comes to egg donation. But I feel like egg donation is one of the big things that we have when it comes to women. Because one of the major causes is, let's say you have PCOS and you are infertile, and sometimes you need kuzvara. There's other good mechanisms that can help vari kushaya bereko vakwanise kuwana bereko, and also procedure IVF becomes easier and more broader. Vanhukadzi vakawanda kafila they need to actually donate their eggs. I feel like it's a good initiative personally.
Okay. Iwe Aisha.
Yes, boss.
Patiri kuti tiri kusangana apa. Yeah, ndaunyatsopanzwisa. Munhu adonaterwa egg. Rinozda like reproduction yacho yakamira sei?
Do the IVF.
Do IVF
in
yangatistaura.
vitro fertilization.
Yes.
So sperm nezai
zvinosanganiswa
in a glass.
Saka tichatozobudisa sperm nemamwe mabuditsiro asi atagara tichiita mazoesa aya. Rundosanganiswa nezai risina rauro neimwe nzira.
Murume wako anodonetawo masperm ake zvosanganiswa scientifically mune zvisanganiswa ndobva razoinsetwa muchibereko chako
koroswa muchibereko zvozochiperera zvaimomomo
zvobvazvachitanga kuchibva
asi kusanganiswa kwacho
ndokunoitwa imo nemascientist.
So mwana uyu anenge ari normal like any other.
Yeah,
Vele.
normal.
Very normal.
Fanele successful fertilization.
Okay. So as a mother, do you really claim that you are my biological
yes.
daughter or son?
I think mwana azokura mauri.
Kuchengeta 9 months.
No, it's storage. Remember, it's storage.
Aiwa, storage.
The egg is not yours.
Storage ndo ine body.
But the egg doesn't belong to you.
Storage ndo yakosha. Remember, it's just every month. Tinorasa ma eggs mangani every month.
No, but even akawanda.
Saka storage yo 9 month period ndo yaunodzidza mwana wako, ndo yaunona ropa rako famba rako richipinda mune rake.
The egg more important than
it's
the 9 months
every month, my guy.
But isn't it more important than the 9 months?
Reminder.
Duration.
I understand what you're saying, but remember, this is a process to help those who are struggling.
Yeah, I understand. I just don't understand. No offense. I understand. But my question is like, okay, do you then really claim, oh, do you like, okay,
ndewako because my sperm ndewako sperm ndere murume wako chawangopiwa izai rekuti mwana apinde muzaimomo yovha 9 months une nhumbu uchidai mwana ndewako.
How much comes from the mother and how much comes from the dad?
You know what, I actually don't know, but what I know is women don't determine gender. That one I'm very confident. We don't determine. Yes, because of the Y chromosome, we do not determine gender.
But I want to understand something, guys. You guys are saying what you're saying, but what motivates someone to like, okay, to become an egg donor? To say I want to be an egg donor, you know, is it financial or just both?
Kindness and also education about egg donations.
Kindness. So if it's about kindness, then you're just donating for free, right? Come on. So it can be kind and in exchange of with money.
Me, I can be kind.
You can't.
I can be kind at a fee.
Guys, what's that?
In a good issues right now. Why is it I was taking a kidney yago? But the fee is very nice. Who doesn't know kidney?
I don't want with my kidney.
You understand? Because you're not what?
Because you are not kind.
You are not kind.
Doesn't need two andidi. Didn't two kidney andidi. Mnani mangani? Ane wane two kidneys.
You're not kind. You can function with one. Perfectly well.
One it's okay. But within Madagascar two. Or
not kindness yako mariri po but kindness awuna. Kweta kuti vari consider unopane munhu aita kidney failure. Saka nimupe. Ndozopia wangu mari but akumupa. Because moyo wangu uda kupa same nemazai isusu mazai mamwe tinongozoita ekurasa andi saka tati no
ngatipe at a fee.
No,
if it's for free it's okay. I would understand.
Plus, guys, remember, this is in Jamaica. I would go because
so if you
on vacation in Jamaica,
yeah, but it's okay. But all right, but if you make money with donating an egg, isn't that same neku someone like for sale?
Kutengesa mwana watengesa mwana hao
zai rinogadzira chi
arigadzire chinhu
mwana okay, let me put it in simple terms, guys. Makaba chikore nini mwana product yechi mwana product yechi
fertilization. Yes, sperm.
The primary thing what was it? Sperm and what?
Sperm
and the egg. and the egg. So the egg, we cannot run away from the egg. So if you are donating the egg, it means somehow we are saying if you are donating for free, I would understand. But if you are donating the egg for a fee, it's actually, I think it's equivalent to just selling a child.
It's a thing.
Kurasaka, kurasa say. No, it's psycho. It's okay.
But my eggs are break
for free, right?
My eggs are
for free.
So this time
donate for free. That's what my point is. But would you go through it?
I would.
You would?
When I have kids. Yeah, I would. I don't feel like it's a bad thing.
Okay, but here's the fundamental question. I think this is very, very okay. Should egg donors have the right to meet or know, the child someday?
No, don't.
Why?
Don't. Because you have donated your eggs.
But you know, it's something you do you know that? Even they are sperm donor to say that some sperm's good.
Sperm really understandable. Zaya Zai not lose every man. That's a valid reason. Another reason is our stomach is fertilized one night. Sperm
every day. It's even worse. I don't know. It's even worse. Zai it's even worse. No, but on a serious note,
why are you doing it? That's the thing.
Guys.
If you're doing yes, because this is what you're doing it to help get people good my marriage. Allah stay and
I was just looking at the figures. Donors often paid in Zimbabwe and South Africa approximately about $500 to 1,500 plus. Debate exists. Is it compensation or commercialization of women's bodies? Like I was saying, guys, but we don't know. But I don't know, Warukumba, would you ever donate your egg or accept one from someone else? So is egg donation empowering or exploitative? I want to understand from you guys. You can share with us what you think in the comment section. And there is an issue. Are you following my Jeremiah's issue?
Yes, I've been following it.
As we move on,
yeah, that's true. Up and down. Part of my complex testimonies coming through contradictions or trauma responses. I wouldn't really know how to classify it because you understand that file a report cross examination coming from the other side. Certain information in why it's now kutaura. I didn't think it was supposed to be said. Or your vans no my fan kutaura. So some of my responses from my Jeremiah seem to be inconsistent with what was stated on the police statement. For example, who removed the bra in my stockings? My simple questions are simple now, but also playing a major role in the later ruling at Shapiwa. She explained she did not use those exact same words. Those are some of
so there are contradictions.
I did not use those same exact words in police statement. Maybe is it a result of traumatized that time or my intentional vagueness amongst those statements. I don't know what people are feeling about this whole situation. So another discussion that is very broad is discussing is it an issue of trauma or vagueness when it comes to reporting a case rape? You need to I'm sure. So that now when it comes to court and you're getting cross-examined, you're able to stand with whatever you have
to maybe to those at home, our viewers, okay, how does trauma affect memory and clarity in statements? Because sometimes you then end up contradicting yourself. You say one thing in the first, then you say the other next, then you say the other. And remember, these are very serious cases. Someone is trying to escape jail. Someone is trying to escape prison, but they say. So the lawyers will be there, and the lawyers will just throw the same things that you've said before. They'll just throw it, they'll give you back. Aisha, did you say to the police you were raped? Then you say yes. Okay, can you tell us how you were raped? And akapinda vandamira vandabvisa bra rangu, then vanditi ndimi chigemenhood, then I did, then vanditi chowi garire, then I was on top, then when these guys look at the circumstances of rape, say, okay, if it is rape, was it like at gunpoint? At what point did you say,
So
let me scream?
I feel like there are a lot of matters when it comes. So I'm just going to go just into a bit of how the cross-examination went about. So Ashley Masendeke, also known as My Jeremiah cross-examination in the rape case at the magistrate court. So I'll just be trying to go different phases and questions that were popping up from the other side. I quote, you told the court that you removed your clothes on your own. That's a question asked by Shepard Makonde, who is the lawyer of the two men accused of the rape. And My Jeremiah said, yes, I quote again, you told the court that you set the bed with the accused person. And then My Jeremiah responded, yes, I quote. And the lawyer went to ask, are you the one who removed the bra and the pulling stockings? And then My Jeremiah said, yes, I was told to do so. And then as the further went, the lawyer asked, he did not jump on you, he started fondling your breast to solicit consent in a romantic moment. Asked the lawyer.
Say, baby, ita tingo ita.
But
tingo.
And then My Jeremiah said, it was not romantic. I was crying. I was told not. I was told to stop crying.
Yeah.
And then the lawyer asked, is it true that you went on top of him during the sex act? And then My Jeremiah replied, it is true that okay, he wanted to ask, okay, I'm sorry, I have to repeat. The lawyer asked, is it true that you went on top during the sex act? And My Jeremiah replied, yes. And also the lawyer went on to ask, I quote, is it correct that you directed his penis into your vagina? And then My Jeremiah said, yes.
It had slipped.
Yes, because from the response from My Jeremiah, yes, because he had failed. It was painful.
Oh, sorry, come again. Sorry.
So My Jeremiah replied, yes, because he had failed
to insert the.
It was painful when he tried to insert his penis, right? And then the lawyer wanted to ask, in your statement, you said it was Charlie who removed your bra and not yourself. My Jeremiah said yes. So now the contradiction between the statement and now the reply during cross-examination packed a contradiction at first. And then now the lawyer wanted to ask, you did not tell the police you removed your bra and stockings on your own according to your police statement. My Jeremiah replied, I did not use those exact words. You did not tell the police that you were the one on top riding the accused person. That's the lawyer asking. And My Jeremiah replied, I quote, I told them, but they did not include it. If I had known that I should include all the nitty-gritties, I should have done it. Moving on, the lawyer asked, why was it not important for you to tell the police that you assisted the accused person to penetrate you by holding his penis? And she replied, I did tell them, but not exactly that I was on top. The police said they wanted to know whether there was penetration. And the lawyer wanted to ask, from the footage on the laptop, you can see that the guard was close to the window in the room you were in. Why didn't you scream? My Jeremiah replied, I quote, I cried and screamed and no one came to my rescue. Now, the lawyer went on to ask, you took $20. What was it for? The lawyer was asking and said of the money, Masindeke was given by Charlie, like the $20 given by Charlie, one of the accused. And My Jeremiah replied, I don't know.
Oh, she was given $20.
Yes.
She received that.
She received from Charlie, one of the accused men. And then her answer was, I don't know. And then the lawyer asked, you told the court you took the money. Why did you take it? Sorry. And My Jeremiah replied, I don't know. Did you take the money to the police? The lawyer asked, and My Jeremiah, no, I don't take it to the police.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. And then lastly, I put it to you that you took $20 because you had agreed to be paid that amount and used the money for your personal needs, said the lawyer. And My Jeremiah said that is a lie. That's the end of it. Yeah.
Honestly speaking, this is a very complex issue right here.
Yeah, that's true.
My Jeremiah, she's going through a lot as a victim, but at the same time, like these contradictions in courts, anoita kuti chero panga paine mhosva mumuna atobude kana panga pasina kuti mhosva panooneka kuti okay, there's a thin line between the truth and maybe trying to just say, depress someone pamuchinjiko, something like that. So my lawyers anokubvunza zvawakashandisa. According to your statement, Aisha, you said okay, so the rape manje inoda penetration. Because vanopinda nyaya dzerape, mwana akanzi arepwa anoendeswa kwachiremba to see if there was penetration here zvaitwa forcefully, right? Then unoona bruises and stuff of what, yes, mwana akata sei akabatwa pakata penetration so those are my doctors, then anto confirm that. Then in this case, because case aingodzi akarepwa saka ngangovariwa, no, now maijiremaya painono kwabata yesitapira zvainyaya but tichamira kuzonyadzwa outcome yecourt, but panofira nyaya dzese cross examination ipapa pekuti uyanenge uchikubvunza iye nyaya kunya kukuita wacho makubvunza kuti but iwe anakupa marere yanga iri yechi. There's a video also showing patone video rekushowa security guard ari padhuze. So why didn't you scream? This guy says naku assist if you wanga wachiscreama, then ari ndakachema anenge asina kuzvinzwa asukuna so batana. So pa cross examination pari dangerous, guys. Even kunocha kuzoripota ma future cases because ndo panodonhera because ma statement anokuvashandisa pekutanga awataura acho pamongoti si ari very important kuti pamwana ndozozvipedzera kukotika akupinde nyaya nyowani kunopinda zviri pa statement nema affidavits. Saka kupolisika ndono kwanofanira kubva saka uida kutororera munhu ogara wangororera ipapo kauchita izvo zvazvinopedza ndamukoti unongochitozvibhayiza. Now apa manje pari kunetsa issue yepenetration pane statement riri very strong that I caught riri kutaura kuti mukomana akanga akundikana kupenetrata, right? So maijiremaya vakazoita vari ivo kuti zviite. So urepi wacho,
yeah, because you're saying,
confusion
it was painful, so anga kuta zvaivarwa
zvaigona kuto unozanya chiri very, like I say, iri kunetsa pakutoti kuti futi titi mukomana uyu zvakanga atadza kuita kupinda probably yanga iri rape somehowish pakuti kudii pakuti maybe Jeremiah was still dry and the guy was trying to
plus also
remember she's not a girl, right? Mukadzi and she's used to this but natori nemurume, so nzira kana ikatodaro iri already. But kana even do you know even your wife mukadzi wako jaja kana ari dry, penetration might be painful, right? So I think still the same issue about maybe Jeshua Jeremiah was dry. The dryness was caused because maybe she was not in the mood or probably she was being forced. Then end up also it's okay. But there are more gray areas.
Yeah. I think
there are more gray areas.
I think a lot has to be covered. Yeah.
You know what? The one thing that I thought about, but I even got the story was, if I ever get into such a situation, I'll probably not take any legal action because kuyani kwa like that.
No, you know what you seek help. Yeah, legal action. What you didn't do help.
Let me tell you.
But then, guys, you're feeling kuti you're under duress, but at the same time you're directing it in the. I don't know.
It's not about
but I want to understand something. Remember, there's consent versus cohesion. There's consent versus cohesion. So there's a fine line there. Okay, number one, she admitted to removing her clothes and even directing because penetration, but also she said, she was crying.
On removing clothes, she was instructed to do so.
You see, and she was crying and did not
remember that.
She did so to just stop the pain, right? The kick was either stop the pain, is or then maybe the key question, can consent given under distress or emotional pressure still be considered valid? What does the law say? Do you know anything along those lines, Aisha? Maybe we should invite our lawyers to come and give us clarity on this matter.
And I think when it comes to rape cases, it's actually diverse.
Yeah.
Sometimes you don't have a clear reflection on how a rape case will go about.
Yeah.
But there's certain nitty-gritties they do look at. That's how you see. Okay, I remember another case. Back then, men used to think, akabvisa ega hembe anonzi handakumurepa because either anokuthreaten visa hembe because ari kuti handakumubvisa chi hembe. That's also another idea inoshandiswa nevanhu vanoita zverepa. Anokuti bvisa hembe dzako because ada kuti mukoti handambomubata akabvisa ega. That's also another loophole. Yes.
We're about top.
Yes,
They
do it.
But
because
would you go?
they want
Yeah, would you go?
No, it's gunpoint. You don't know what you
No,
do.
there was no gun in this circumstance.
If it's at gunpoint or maybe you don't know what was being threatened, maybe Ndukunzi, mwana wako kumandro kumudzipa, mukomana wako ndazomuraya, mukomana wako ndomuda, mukomana wako ndazomuraya. So there are a lot of things
You
that
do
could
it
be.
for the sake of your boyfriend's protection?
I love my man. But then there are a lot of circumstances that
Sad.
wow.
Sad.
Wow.
Sad.
I know.
But okay.
There are a lot of circumstances.
Ana scream. But
No, she said she did scream. Remember,
But
she's
as God
arguing, saying
anakuziva.
she did scream.
But there's a big issue here, Aisha. Yamurgu misa mese.
Yekuti.
Digital evidence, the laptop footage, cross-examine referred footage from the laptop where she is seen going on top of the accused. So the footage, who was filming this footage?
No, footage yakatora gadha chipfura. Haina kutora yachi on top. Hapana footage.
It's showing the security guard.
Ingoshowa gadha ari panze ari kunzi ndopafunza tikuona kuti gadha ari padhuze newindow renyu
Saka,
makadi
kuscreama.
vakati no inini I did scream but hakuna akandibetsera. Remember that. So it's word for word right now kuti pamwe gadha angatobhadharwa kuti asaite sei asapindire nyaya dzikuitika. So in anything the story is so complex, but one thing like last time I said, I feel like sensitive stories don't need the public
100%.
because when it comes to
I agree
public
with Babu.
opinion, we are not lawyers,
Babu,
we
I
are not
agree with you.
we are not juries, we end up having our own opinion. And sometimes even those loopholes maybe are not necessary, but they end up becoming necessary when people are looking down upon
And people
a
will be
case.
just weighing my issues, like the $20 question.
and they were going to
Was it
court.
like a compensation or was it manipulation? The $20 issue.
I think it was manipulation from how-
$20.
Alright,
Zvinoitika.
Shandakanzwa Mai Jeremiah vachitaura back then when the story started.
Yeah.
is she had been put in a position where these guys were playing mind games.
Yeah, from the word go.
So I think zvinenge zvangoitika unongoti regai ndichingoita zvipere so that I can go back home to my kids.
Yeah.
And I'd like to think that's sort of what happened here.
It can. Don't say what happened. It can happen.
Yeah, maybe
it
we
can
have to look
happen.
at the legal system and victim narratives. The lawyer appeared to push for inconsistencies. Some might say this is necessary legal procedure. Others may feel it borders on character assassination as well. So I don't know. How should the legal system balance cross-examination with victim dignity, especially in sensitive cases? This issue is very, it's about cross-examination. I think it's very important also. But victim, kunema victim echokwadi. They should be protected 100%. If one is convicted, rape,
14 years.
I don't know, been 14 years mukati. Life yemunhu yakastoppa that family, that guy or that man anenge aine family but accused or maybe of something that he didn't do. So I think they should be clear
And I think
even the interrogation must be.
And I'm sure my rape cases, they're just going to forever be like this. They're very hard to really determine. Either one day Judah made a mistake, mumwe munhu achatongopinda mahara, or maybe one day pana achatadza kutosungwa achirepa zvechokwadi. So manyaya erepa ari so anonetsa generally at the end of the day,
in this case,
especially for adults.
He's saying this,
And she's saying that, and evidence is being built on mama he say, she say. It's very hard.
But as we conclude this in Inangu, that would be a question maybe to our viewers. But is it possible for someone to cooperate in a rape situation and still be a victim? That's that's the question. Yeah, is it possible for someone to cooperate in a rape situation
But also
and
be
still
a
be a victim? We want to understand. Maybe our lawyer friends, please help us. And those who know better, please share with us in the comment section. This is the biggest podcast in the land. As you know, we unpack everything. We talk about everything, as it is. We give you details, facts, even opinions. We sometimes share our own opinions. We
That's
do.
true.
Yeah,
That's true.
that's the good thing about podcasts. I love podcasts because I get to share what I think. My thoughts. Yeah, uncensored, unfiltered. Uncensored, unfiltered. Yeah, exactly. So that's one thing about podcasts. That's one thing about podcasts. But we want to thank our friends from Garwe Restaurant. We are back again with Garwe Restaurant and Events, the only place that offers authentic African and Western cuisine. Did I say that right?
Yes.
Cuisine.
Cuisine. Is it a French word?
Cuisine.
Or-
Yes. Cuisine.
Do you have any mojito at the last?
Mazonda kuta Google.
Oh yeah, but Garwe Restaurant and Events offers amazing services from outside catering. Anyway, kwese kwa muri Garwe inosika boardroom luncheons and also birthday parties, private events, corporates, and also Garwe Restaurant Events is your plug. You know what, Aisha?
Yes.
Kune malobolo days these days. Yeah. We've got
Prophesying.
yeah. Was December? She's yeah.
December mina
So probably-
ngihambile.
So you definitely need Garwe at your place. Michato, manamo jojo, my memory services, Thompson unveiling,
My divorce party.
my divorce party.
Oh, yeah,
Quite about
that's-
divorce parties.
Yes.
To celebrate the divorce.
Yes.
What the heck, you guys?
So
But remember
Which world am I living in?
now you can celebrate you.
Then you have to celebrate the divorce.
Zvobva
Zvobva
zvazoitwa final kukoti kunzi divorce.
Sad. We can't be
Zvedu
celebrating
zvaita.
divorce, guys. We can't be celebrating
No,
like.
you can celebrate a divorce.
No.
You can celebrate a divorce.
No.
It was worth it.
When you're celebrating a divorce,
It was worth it.
your kids will be dancing there?
Yes.
Yeah.
Should they be there?
It's
No.
yes.
No.
Mom is finally free.
No, guys,
Daddy
come
is
on.
free.
It's okay, all right, it's okay. So Garwe will be there for you guys. And Garwe will be Jesse. There's Chigutiro, right? Chigutiro, no. Yesterday, I had lunch at Garwe. I had my oxtail. Trust me, I couldn't finish it. I had to,
Ngewanda.
I had to take, some. Take away. Because I first, like starter, I had hodzeko. You know, mkaka, like that creamy.
Yakomana ifanana nokara.
Unongacheka nebanga nespoon so right, that hodzeko. That's what I had as a starter. Then I had white sadza. I love white sadza though. White sadza and oxtail. Then tsungari nedori. My guy, that was like okay. Then I got beans beside. Kakaroa pachimusha. You know what I mean? Traditional food. I just loved the food. I enjoyed the meal. Then I wanted to my nuts beside. Then I had to carry to my nuts.
Wow.
It was just well done.
Ngazvako wakaenjoy.
That's Garwe Restaurant. And today, the guys surprised us with some goodies in studio. So unfortunately, you guys at home, you won't be able to eat with us. You won't be able to join. We're gonna be funeralizing you.
Sorry.
We're gonna be eating you guys as you guys watch.
Sorry.
I don't know what you're gonna make. So the next time you'll be tempted to go to Garwe Restaurant in Eastleigh. Garwe. And the details are on the screen. Yeah. For more information, just check the Garwe Restaurant Facebook page, and also you can see Garwe Restaurant and Events. That's the Facebook page. Like and share the last post with the hashtag Chigutiro, hashtag Garwe Restaurant. You can be the next person to have a beautiful lunch with your loved one. So you can be the winner. We're gonna have a page that Garwe Restaurant and Events. Then just share the last post in Ipapo. My hashtags. Unotongopikwa newako mdikani wako na bebe rako ni madama whatever sa chiki unodya zvelunch newako kugarwa tisikuto mnene
Vuzu ya uchadya unogona wadya.
So here like there is what's here? Okay. There is Madora. Okay. You love Madora? Are you a big fan?
Dora isn't. I
mean Madora. These ones. I mean these ones. I'm referring to these ones.
I love Madura.
I
love Madura.
Don't be too dirty-minded,
I love
right?
Madura.
Stop being dirty-minded.
Why do you think
I'm referring to Madora.
I love
Madora.
Madura.
Okay.
I love Madura.
What's the English name for Madora?
Mopane worms.
Mopane worms. It's just worms. Mopane is a tree, right?
Yeah.
Mopane is a tree.
I know I go pa
Mopane. They
Mopane.
are found
Mopane shit.
I'm saying Mopane is a tree, right?
Eh.
It isn't.
Yes, it is.
It is right. So it doesn't have an English name.
Mopane worms.
It's a worm.
They're only found on Mopane
It's
trees.
a worm, guys.
it is a worm.
But found at Mopane trees.
Yeah.
Wemura irimwe racho ariwanikwe pa Mopane.
Yeah.
It is specific.
Yaya akapfeka my headphones. My headphones tumona pana Yaya. Tomati.
Yaya headphones.
Yes,
Come on.
because they're only found with Yaya.
Okay, there's Mopane worms, like you say, Macimbi. I like Macimbi. Hey, in Ndebele, these guys like Goblawayo, they love Macimbi. So if you guys are watching, if you love Macimbi like the way I do, please check out Kuga.
Macimbi Matemba.
Huh? Macimbi.
I thought Matemba.
Taura nyaya yo language manje.
Okay, it's all right. Then there is the nuts. Yeah, there's some nuts. Huh?
And my salted nuts.
Toti mutsege. Mutetsu. Mutetenerwa. Ndikupa mashona names enzungu dzakakangwa. Nzungu dzakamenywa dzakakangwa so. Mutetenerwa. Mutetsu. Ndakati chi? Mutsege. This way ndeshasa tiri kuprimary kwandina kumusha. Kwarikweza timutsege. Mutetenerwa ya. Then there is my liver. Ooh. Guys, I don't think I'm going to but it's okay. Pare my liver zara. Inya ndane kanza.
Liver nonzination.
Kala ndike yeah?
Liver nonzination.
Chiropa.
Oh, okay. It was so quick.
Then zvikanganwa hama.
Ndo zvangu.
Gizzards.
Ndo zvangu.
Chitivhururoka because ndikazotangira shaya huni ndada kuvhura ndini.
Mina ndikuvhurire.
Vanhu vanoshanda behind the scenes havasi kudya.
Sorry zve.
Tine urombo kuseri kuranuka kuna Aisha behind the scenes. There is Patron. there is Chelsea. Chelsea, are you okay? Can you just hear your voice? Are you okay? Please give him pass the mic, please. Pass the mic. Why cry? Chelsea?
Tipa set up a page which cow.
Apa page which? Chapira wakatarisa sora hako.
Aya kalongo ifungoti maprops.
Sorry zvago. But as Yayha is busy opening this, I want to play this clip from the parliament, and we will be back. Let's check out this clip.
Umbuzo wami kuminister uthi kulama ward angelama ward coordinators azafakwa nini ama ward coordinators lawo ukuthi ancedise omama. Okwesibili uthi lapho kulama ward coordinators khona ama wards akhona amakhulu kakhulu abenelisi ukusebenza ngendaba zokuswela kokuhambisa. Ngiyabonga. Honorable Minister, Ndinechikumbiro chokuti when Honorable Speaker started speaking, my translation was not working. So I kindly ask for staff also to help me so that I can understand the question better and I can respond adequately.
Honorable member, please may you repeat your question?
Ngiyabonga Minister. Umbuzo wami uthi ema reserve ngale kula ndawo ezingela kulama ward angelama ward coordinators. Ama ward coordinators lawo azafakwa nini? Owesibili uthi lapho kulama ward coordinators khona ama ward akhona makhulu kakhulu.
Sorry, honorable member, the translation is not audible.
Madam Speaker, I can translate.
Thank you very much, Honorable.
Why is Shona not being translated in this house? Only Ndebele is being translated. You're Shona here. Nyarara we. Awu nyarara lapha akelichasiseni. Nyarara. Ungayenzi njalo. Uphendule.
Honorable Minister, are you ready to respond?
Mazita, Madam Speaker, ndinoda kutenda zvikuru. Oh, okay.
Minister, pindirai nekutaura wamunoda.
Madam Speaker, ndinotenda
Is this Shona? I see this Shona. Asizwa. Translate for us. Tit for tat. IsiNdebele siyatranslate, isiShona kasitranslate. Ningabosidelela. Wewe umbonani wewe? Umbonani wewe?
Unozama olokele usana utijairira.
Nangilindebele.
Sona
ukuthi
olokele, please.
Why are we translating one language? Why are we translating one language? In 45 years after independence, why are you translating one language? It's unacceptable. You can't silence the Ndebele.
On a point of order, Madam Speaker. Shut up. On a point of order, Madam Speaker.
Mlokeli garapas dokuingego.
On a point of order, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, on are you the acting chief whip? Yes, I am. Please, may you come in.
Mlokeli garapas dokuingego.
Akudzingwa muno iwewe.
So let's talk about something uncomfortable but important. Why is it that in 2025, so many Shona-speaking Zimbabweans still treat Ndebele like, a foreign language? It's a very big issue, this one. Because in Parliament, you see, I'm sure you saw what happened. This woman, Agataura, like in Ndebele, then there was a need for a Shona translator.
That's
to
true.
say, can you translate it to Shona? But when Shona speakers do speak in Parliament, there is no Ndebele translator to then translate it to Ndebele. So I wonder, it brings us back to that issue. Aisha, if you remember, we talked about this some time ago, I think a few episodes back, when I said, I think we need to have Ndebele, Shona, English as compulsory subjects from primary school.
Yeah, that's true.
To about secondary school, where you then get to choose your subjects, maybe in Form 3 or something like that. Yeah, to say, okay, I'm now dropping Ndebele. But at that stage, your
communication will be easy.
Right.
You know all the basic when it
not
comes
to say,
communication.
then there's this language. Yes, I know about the population, the demographics, right? To say the demographics in Zimbabwe, Shona speakers are more than Ndebele speakers.
That's true.
Are more than Dau speakers. Are more than
Tonga speakers.
Tonga, Sutu, Xhosa. Do you know we've got Xhosa people in Zimbabwe?
Yeah, true.
Yeah, we do have Xhosa people in Zimbabwe. And also Kalanga. Sign language. We've got 16 languages, my guy. We've got 16 official, including sign language. So, Papa 16, I'm saying these three, especially the most dominant languages, it's English, Shona, and Ndebele. But these three, at least these three,
that's true.
Then because I are three days so my languages ekuti mamwe ese ani ukaziterisa anika kunofola into those languages walaterera mutlosa chitaura anika kundebele karimo wala kuterera mushona achitaura anika kachindau karimo kachimanyika kari muchishona mundau alikwanisa kunzwa mushona mushona can hear mundau, right? So these three major languages, I think it should be made compulsory. I think this is me.
Yeah, I think you've raised the question more and more, and I hope hopefully the right institution, the
Minister of Education,
they should really consider that.
Yes.
The Minister of Education should take this one up because these are the.
And also, I think it's more like a state issue as well, because you're introducing a new language that is party that could be something that could be done overnight, and just agree to schools, and communication is easier.
Exactly, that's very true. So we will need to talk about the integration imbalance. Let's be honest, most Ndebele speakers have learned Shona out of necessity for schools, jobs, survival. Meanwhile, Shona speakers haven't even tried to learn Ndebele. I don't know why is that so. And it is because maybe is it because maybe they don't need to? And if so, what does this say about privilege and respect? So we need to understand that Parliament Parliament is a reflection of society. Toda kuti kuti zvakaitika Parliament toda kuti zvinyatsogadziriswa kuti zvienzaniswe malanguages abalance pasaite kunge because issue yakazinetsa ndeyekuti pakazonzi translate. Maybe debazakunzi translator, it was not going to be an issue.
And a big issue.
Because, it seems like isu semashona the Ndeveles have learned to integrate with they conform to what the Shona needs to yet Isusu we have also ignored that we need to integrate ourselves with them. So padaku shandwa.
Yeah, that's very true.
Now that it has been brought up in Parliament, it's a whole issue. It was trending on X.
Maybe call to action and reflection. Yeah. You know, what would Zimbabwe look like if Shona and Ndebele speakers met each other halfway? Maybe in language, culture, and also mutual respect.
Yeah, that's very true. I feel like it's a very good conversation to have all the time.
Yeah.
And hopefully there'll be right mechanism set in place for it to happen. Because language are a major when you come up. But also, Chamisa returns to full-time politics. All right, he confirmed his return in an interview with The Standard and vows to never abandon Zimbabweans who view him as a credible challenge to ZANU-PF. Calls out ZANU-PF's attempts to extend President Idi Mnangagwa's term beyond 2028. Chamisa's strong words calls Vision 2030 a court nonsense. Tactic to delay elections and weaken democracy. I quote this one. It's an attempt to create a window for further destroying an otherwise beautiful country, close quote, he says. And frames his return as a duty to citizens and not tied to a political party. So we had a very major fallout of CCC, I think, back then. Chamisa left CCC after internal leadership was taken over by Sengezo Chabangu. And Chabangu got legal and parliamentary recognition and mass recalls follows ZANU-PF regarding 2/3 majority in parliament. Shabangu and ZANU-PF just a clear head. Shabangu had endorsed Mnangagwa's term extensions, and critics claim he's a ZANU-PF proxy, and he denies it. I'm not associated. But how has this affected opposition unity and public trust also? Because Kusia party is a major thing. Kusia whole party. And now people follow a party as well as the leader. So then
Chamisa was Chamisa was like he left the party because it was compromised and captured by the ZANU-PF. Describes it as Pudu of ZANU-PF. Frames his exit as one of principle, leaving the vehicle, not the people. So he's like, I left the vehicle, I did not leave the people.
So did he take people from the vehicle with him?
Do you know what
That's the question.
Always say? Murangara, Chamisa, they say, we left what's the statement? Even, remember MP Agents Gumbi?
Yeah.
He said it. Richard Chankrai said the same thing. Hansi,
we left what?
Once the original caucus, we are still there under the leadership of Nelson Chamisa because we saw that this vehicle that we wanted to use to drive change, it's no longer suitable for it. So we are strategizing to create another one that will serve the people of Zimbabwe. No matter how.
So definitely there's going to be a new political party, right? Do you think they're going to be using Triple C?
They're definitely not going to use
So it means they're going to launch a new party. If it's not Triple C, then what? Then it's a new party, definitely.
Maybe they can rejoin MDC, which is now being led by Douglas Mutsola.
You think so? After the fallout?
You know what? With politics, nothing is ever permanent. Your old allies can become your enemies. Your enemies can become friends. So that may happen. They might even join another political party. Remember Tinana Elizabeth
Valerio.
Yeah.
But joining another political party,
I want
Robert Chapman. Professor Maduku. There's so many political vehicles that they can now
I
join.
think they like they say, they're not going to hop into another vehicle, but they're making a new vehicle. They're improvising
a new
mechanism
that would be
for
Tesla.
a new vehicle.
It's the Tesla.
That's all they're saying.
Do you know what I think? The problem with our opposition in Zimbabwe, from my little experience of studying politics, as a non-scholar, as just a person, as a citizen, is that the problem with our opposition is that they're too individualistic. If all these opposition parties were to come together, last Pagatkam elections, 23 political parties that were going for the presidential election. 15 going against this one party. What do you think will happen?
Do you think they will win?
But the problem is, and they're doing it.
When it comes to politics, right? As a party, you're competing against other parties, you understand? So don't say parties should come together and form one big party against a certain party. All of them are in competition. In Indica Starter Party, I'm competing against Sanopif, CCC, MDCT, and whatever. It's a whole competition. I see, the United Government. No. Right. You're claiming those are every party in a president. Against Ningi.
No, well, thank you very much, Yayha. You just proved my point. They are doing it because they don't want to serve
everyone, even the ruling party wants to rule.
That is why
that's politics. Politics is ruling.
It is ruling and serving. That is the problem. You could say they want to be in a position of power, not in a position to serve the people. To serve the people.
But the issue from what I hear what you guys are saying, but from what I've noticed, and I've been following this the developments and whatnot, it's not yet really clear if Chamisa is coming back with a new political party or not. It's not really clear if the people are going to support him or not. It's still not really clear again if he's going to rejoin MTC, like you've said. It's still unclear. Almost everything is still it's just mist. The screen is full of fog, mist, everything.
I think people are tired.
Exactly. That's the other issue. Issue of trust.
Yeah.
People seem to be losing trust. People seemed to have had hope much before. I think period of 2023 and whatnot. People had hopes this time around Chamisa chatlead pakati nechi. So when then zvakazoitika and the way it happened zvakaita kuti vanhu vese valose hope. And also when Chamisa decided to leave Triple C after that resignation letter, some of his MPs as well, they felt, like they then the next thing, is starting afresh is something which is very important. To start something afresh from structures and whatnot is really important. Because trial and error, because remember those who were within the Triple C then together with Chamisa, they were complaining about the issue to do with Nyadzama structures. To say this political it's not structures. And there was that statement those days, like strategic ambiguity. Then people were like, okay, if there is ambiguity, then sometimes you would see, you could see, the MPs and the councillors trying to defend that, but they were failing to clarify what it was. And they say,
okay, so former former vice minister of finance.
Former minister of finance. You were scrutinized like such a video.
He said this at another podcast. He said opposition problems are not linked in ideology. They're about communication.
Yeah.
So it goes back to what you're saying.
Exactly.
Someone had a strategy of strategic ambiguity and did not then explain it to his people.
Exactly. So they even the people they were not really understanding what it was. So somehow strategy shanda is expected. Now those people, they've lost trust, kuna President Chamisa. Now that Chamisa is now announcing his comeback and he's warming up to be back, because vangagara fan base, it's guys, honestly, 2 million votes 2 million votes, it's not a joke, right? Inini maono yangu Yayha kuzvifambiswa zvakanaka. Inini maonero andiri kuita ndeyekuti vachamisa kana kuti vari kudzoka Yayha munhu agara like I said before ane support yake paground, but chatisiri kuziva ndechekuti masupporters vachine here trust seyavanga vambori nayo before.
Yeah, true.
And also if it's about betrayal, why is it that he's the most betrayed person? Remember, he was also betrayed. He also claimed to be betrayed with MDC alliance when he left, then formed Triple C. He also betrayed within the Triple C. He left. Now he's now about to announce something new. I don't know if kana kurunze vakwanisa kuisa zvinhu zvese in place, mechanisms zvese in place dzinomake sure there is no infiltration, dzinomake sure there is no outside interference, dzinomake sure kuti again ma structures avo avanenge vaina within the party, and also the constitution which is strong and which people including himself will then adhere to.
Yeah, true.
If then zvakadaro, I'm sure Chamisa vanenge stand ground. What I'm not really sure about is the 2028 election. Kuti party inenge had that strong. But remember within 2017, when Tsvangirai died towards 2018 elections, zvakaitika papa mukomana achisara nechinhu, he managed to recalibrate the party and re-energize people. You know, the people were like, wow.
I think he came out with the youth fuse that had so much support, and a lot of people wanted to be part of the movement.
The numbers that he garnered in 2018, my guy, for someone who just took over the party from the late president within a short period of time,
that was good.
It was a statement.
It was exceptional.
I'm sure even his contender, right?
Yeah,
was shocked. Iwe munako because papa inokuita apina mamanja atona muro.
2028 will be 10 years later. Could we still say the same thing?
Exactly, that's my question. Because papa 2018 ga azvinozoperera papa, he then akabva azonosiya the MDC alliance.
They started Triple C, but still Triple C had a big impact.
Big
That's
impact.
the thing.
Come 2023, 2 million votes. Wangu. Then other 2 million votes, he then damned the Triple C because of my issues angaripo ana chabangu ana even yanzibereka mwana jija all those issues. Then he went silent. Now he's coming back. Him coming back with a new party. Titara edu for the past incidents that are away. I rather come and my numbers. But it was because one I trust. But MDC alliance on Okanga trust. Pa Triple C vanhu trust and vanhu vaiona kuti but vanongonzora zvadai vana nhingi zvadai zvaita vanhu vakati ngatiteeri mukomana, vanhu vakati mukomana tokusupport and zveshuwa vanhu vakamupa support, marallies akaiputika. Now trust vanhu, those who supported him the most publicly are the ones who are now criticizing him publicly
as well. Yeah,
that's where the problem is now. Kuti vanhu your real people, those who are supported now vakuti but but akawanda, so I need doubt. But even you was not so much doubt. Maybe zvaikusiya party but mukomana capability yekuti anochidhonza iripo, but vanhu vacho ndo pane problem.
Can I give a dumb example? Right, inini kumba kwedu ini ndikanetsana baba veko, do I leave that house ndonogadzira imwe imba kana kuti tinogarisana pasi totaurirana?
Baba, example yako haitepa kuti iwe hausi mwana, uri baba iwo and uvonesa nemwana wako, mwana yobva azoita baba uti aiwa ndina ntori baba mba muno unoita sewo. Ana baba tu vanogarisana iwo?
Yeah,
avagarisana.
No, issue inofanira kuvapo ndeyekuti the party's constitution must be followed. A party must have its constitution.
There's no party to speak of.
Oh, no,
we are referring to the previous party. But now, I'm sure nema mistakes akaitika. Exactly, they will do better this time. I'm sure maybe anakakuya kuti tane ma-structures tane constitution leadership yatakamira yakadai no confusion ma-vice presidents issue yekuwanza ma-vice presidents I don't understand then issue yema-vice president akawanda it's also confusing ndo imwe yakakonza pa 2018 because remember pa 2017
no but that was not confusing
no it was
made it clear
no
those guys override their own constitution.
That's what I'm saying kuti wona kapapa pakati ka confusion yakati serious kakuti wona there was Mudzuri there was Chamisa there was Kupe there was as vice presidents my guy
Yeah,
my guy.
And I'm pretty sure.
And then Chamisa Paisonzi akapinzwa is vice president responsible for this. Like it was like a created post. Na Wachangirai. So people were like, Wachangirai is the one who created this mess. Some were saying, no, look, it was not supposed to be like this. Then someone who was like a vice president and agapiwa a certain responsibility, then emerged as the big person, and he took over, from all these other vice presidents. But according to the constitution, Kupe was supposed to be the president until the next Congress. This and that, right? But because but I don't blame Chamisa to over. I think wife garapasi Kupe Amonzora Anamudzuri. But guys, panapa toda kuti win election
at the end of the day chaona something
ane support vanhu padeda pakandiyani ngatiwirirane wopa munhu chino saka pa hurukuro iyoyo ndonenge haina kuitika because tension yakabva takapa nhamo that tension led to wamwe vakati tatavharirwa mumba wamwe vakati matension iyayo akazolida kuti zvinhu nhasi pazvasvika yaya mani zvizove pamalevel it's unrepairable.
So we really need to go back to the drawing
exactly
board.
I just feel like I want to see what Chamisa has in store for what he's planning.
Definitely.
I'm sure he sat down, he saw all of this. I'm sure that quite period pairongwa something. Let's see what they have.
Every country needs an opposition.
Let's see what they have. And zvikaramba futi tinenge tichingozvisa tichienda.
We definitely need a strong opposition in the country.
Inogona iripo, but kuneda iri strong.
No, we need a strong opposition. A strong opposition will be there to oppose. What's the point here, opposition?
To make sure that those who are in power are doing what they're supposed to be doing.
Simple. You're correct. But the problem there is also Zimbabweans. I think there's something that we need to also maybe demystify. No, understand. An opposition doesn't mean you are a threat to someone. Or doesn't mean since you support as opposition, we have to do this. You support as NPF, we have to do this. These are like it's a debate. I'm sure I'm in a debate school. One was in debate. You go with the no. You are going with the yes.
And on the affirmative or non-affirmative.
And my point is sometimes you actually be side non-affirmative. But you are
trying to prove a point.
Because we side did. And just to hold those in power accountable as well. Look at what Anna Julius Malema is on South Africa. Taboos next door South Africa. You that's politics. I love how these guys do. But Julius Malema want to seka, want to share a lunch, Nana Ramaphosa. Julius Malema flew all the way to KwaZulu-Natal to meet Jacob Zuma. Wachitotaura utomwa coffee rumba but vachipedza kiana parliament. That's politics.
That's true.
But zedu Zimbabwe dzinoda kusvika pama extremes
dzinopisa politics dzinotozongopisa.
So we definitely need one opposition party, but it's problem ndekuti ma values ema oppositions kana ma values ema parties ndo anonetsa kuti what do they really stand for.
I think this time vanenge vafunda. I think from what has been happening, I'm sure we're done in the state. We now know where we stand.
Yeah, that's very true. So tell us but all the best kuna vachamisa and welcome back to the world of politics, because once you're a politician zvinonetsa kubura zvigure and it's really also difficult to ignore his name within the political arena. It's difficult to ignore his name. There is an issue in the UK. Moving on, UK to do DNA test every newborn. Okay. Key talking points not Aisha. The UK's National Health Service will begin DNA testing every newborn under a 10-year plan using whole genome sequencing. So we don't want to understand why. The answer is to detect and prevent hundreds of diseases before symptoms show, shifting from treatment to prevention. A blood sample from the umbilical cord will be used instead of the current heel prick test that screens just for 9 conditions. How is the difference? How is this different? I mean, from current tests. So what I've discovered is currently newborns get a blood spot test. The heel prick screening for 9 conditions. But the new system now is like full DNA test from umbilical cord, blood, screening for hundreds of genetic issues. Now hundreds, not only 9. The benefits are of whole genome sequences. I've researched early detection, earlier intervention, or even prevention in conditions. Also could reduce lifelong healthcare cost by managing conditions before they worsen. Also may reveal rare or inherited diseases that would go unnoticed for years. So, I don't know, Aisha, is this kind of smart healthcare other countries like Zimbabwe should start planning for?
Yeah.
Okay. Oh. But if this was introduced in Zimbabwe, I feel would you agree to have your babies DNA tested?
It's a big game changer considering what is being done for. Because if you check the main reason there's a DNA test, and if you look at it from a perspective, heel prick is literally saying they're going to have to test for other diseases, which are hundreds of diseases. Because prevent certain diseases that can be prevented during mwana achiri mudumbu pane madizive kuti dai akazikanwa early akarapika kuti paachazokura chakura asina. So I feel like it's a very big game changer in terms of childbirth yekuzozvara vana vane certain diseases kana vakaremara even still. So I feel like this is a very big game changer.
But should then governments should they be trusted with genetic data?
Yes, they already are trusted to some extent. We already do it already. Honestly, we already do it. Right now, everyone has been wakaenda kuchipatira kune card rako reyellow riya.
Totrama FBC, full blood count, blood ruenda kupi blood.
Kutipisa kutowesa time information yuti nayo melsemi. So I feel like it's a game changer. It's good.
Then Aisha, Yayha, and those at home, this is a very big question. Is knowing your genetic future a blessing or it's a burden?
It's a blessing.
You say it's a blessing?
It's a blessing.
Aisha?
Shiribatu.
Give us your...
Okay. I imagine a scenario where I'm pregnant and then I'm told your child will have this certain condition that will make their life, their quality of life difficult. Maybe you have one of those babies that don't do anything. I don't know what the condition is called. I think it's cerebral palsy. And then now as a mother, you have the option, do I abort?
Yes. Yes. That's good.
Oh, yeah.
That's a good option.
Is that a blessing or a burden?
It's a good option.
You have to make that decision.
Yes.
You have to play God, Yayha.
Yes.
Because you're determining whether someone lives or dies. That's playing God.
We already play God by just waking up in the morning. So let me tell you one thing. We had this major discussion about this. Parents with children with disabilities. We went further to discuss that it's not easy because I need disability. Pane disability, some parents will never be equipped to deal with it. The people will never be mentally ready for that disease.
And my victims are not the
you understand? Skin condition, even my doctor, they can't even suggest ways to maybe but they're still even researching from a child. Those things are very lethal. It's up to you to say, you know what, I'm not stable enough to be able to take care of a certain disability. Because mentally, I know to mentally, I'm at 2,000 and it's going to know and cerebral palsy. anoita sene mwana iyi. So I think it's a very critical thing to think kuti vanhu vari equally ready here kuunderstand kuti ndane mwana ndichirema ende ndichamuchengeta sei ende vari kufundiswa here kuzochengeta mwana uye akaremara.
Counseling as well.
It's a very big thing.
Our healthcare system fails us at that. I remember I had this conversation with two parents vane cerebral palsy that was in March. And they were saying kuti tizoziva kuti mwana ane cerebral palsy angatokura. Because imagine pane milestones emwana kana kuti ari kukambaira, ari kugara, achafamba. And also mwana antanoenda clinic. Mwana vaitoenda clinic vachitonobayiwa vachitoniswa paskero, but the nurses never said anything kuti
mwana something is not right.
At the age of 3 ndopa unongati but mwana wangu
pani something. Anonoka.
Kutaura and in your this is your first time as a parent, you don't have the experience of that. Saka healthcare system yedu inotifaila, especially
ndosaka tukuti kana munhu wakuziva kuti ndakatakura mwana who's most likely to have that disease wotanga kuchiequipa even ichiri mimba wadecide kuikipa. Okay, I'm going to keep this child because I don't want to play God. Some people don't want to take responsibility, some people want to take responsibility. Ofundiswa iri nhumbu paanozvarwa, you know what to do, because zvirwere zvinobatsirika chiri mwana. If maybe they go through speech therapy earlier, maybe vanogona kuzogonotaura certain words. So I feel like it's a game changer.
Yeah, that's very true. That's what I was about to say as well. To say it's a game changer because a lot of people vanoda kuti ukangoziya earlier zvinhu zvakafanira kuti tinozoziya later kuti mana problem, like you're saying, it becomes a problem. But this kana ndaudzwa earlier whether ndichazvibvuma ndichazvitambira kana ndisikuzvitambira, but ndaudzwa earlier panozozorwa mwana ndito prepare. And some of these conditions pamwe zvimwe zvacho zviri avoidable, zvimwe zvacho zvinokwanisa kugadzirisika, zvinojengeka earlier, zvotoonekwa kuti aiona mwana uyu zobatsirwa. So I think it's a game changer. I like that. But inini hangu nachoti kuZimbabwe kutoya DNA testing kuti ungoona kuti baba ndiye wake here.
It's fine.
Yeah, paternity test.
Kuzombora takatozvidiscuss atichadye mazuva.
Zvakoti mwana aitobuda muchipatara aitongozvarwa apa ovadonzi chi blood sample ramai, blood sample mwana
rababa achitori mudumbu 3 months you can now do DNA.
Let's do that because
atisikumbochka
mashura tunda kwa china chengoba chipo
yo ngati hanze nekuti chipo chabva kune mwe munhu auchashida handui just receive it.
All right, if Real Madrid scores
yes
wearing a Manchester United jersey, who scored?
Scoring. A goal is a goal.
The idea is what?
It's hard to tell.
Kune vachaona munhu akapfeka jezi remanchester vachati manchester yagoisa, kune vanga vachiziva kuti munhu akapfeka jezi ndiyo Madrid.
Let me put it this way. Let me put it this way. Yayha, you are wearing a Manchester United shirt.
Yes.
But then you're wearing a short Re Barcelona or a Real Madrid, right? And then you score. Which team score?
Both.
Yes.
So it can be both.
It'll be both.
It's hard to tell. So that's why I'm saying, don't allow people to celebrate what's not theirs. You know, families celebrate, you know, with my feelings. Wanting my prema, wanting you know, celebrating this is our child. Then the next thing they hear, no, the money by next door.
The day you sit down and
come on.
The day you wake up with dress up.
Tichizati mwana asi wedu biologically as tirikumchengeta. There's adoption there's adoption, but it's clear.
The day you wake
sign
up,
the papers,
shave your genitals, meet a woman or a man, and decide to do it unprotected.
No, it's a marriage.
Those are the results. But as long as you're sleeping unprotected with someone, akakwigila mwana ndi wako.
Kwete kuigirwa. We are taking it too far. Kune vakadzi vatori muzimba. Atori nemwana second born. Asiri pamba ipapo.
Ana baba vari mumba.
So fathers are victims.
Kuzogwa tochengeta iwe whole full family. Tese as long as you are protected, ukaigirwa mwana tora wakanyarara. Because munhu anoramba munhu kuti no, I protected myself. Saka why is kundigira mwana? Tika protect one.
Aba pane nyaya. But inango ndingoti I'm advocating kuti my DNA test should be compulsory. Mwana achizvarwa DNA test, baba wake DNA test. Anditi urikuziya here kuti izvezvi mukadzi wese ada kundozvara antanga testwa HIV. It's not optional. Why are you doing that?
To protect mwana. Mwana.
Right. The same way we want to protect the child, let's also be the same way we want to protect my heart. My heart.
Varume avari weak up. Avari kana kuzonzi vanhu varize vane kandavasi. Varume vari weak, don't stress yourself. Munhu wapa mwana akabvuma ngashengete mwana wake.
Ngaite composer.
Varume vana dzavo hadzinambosikwa dzichengete masho. Vanofenda varume. Unofendesa munhu wako uri kuda.
It's okay, guys, no problem. The Zimbabwe Republic Police has launched investigations into a shocking social media post that's gone viral, allegedly promoting a so-called Vuzu or sex party at a private location in Mutare. According to the circulation post, men are expected to pay $20 to enter the premises, a move that has sparked public outrage and alarm from authorities. The Zimbabwe Republic Police has issued a stern warning to the organizers, stating that the law will take its course without fear or favor. Police say such events are not only illegal, but pose a serious risk to public safety, health, and morality, especially among young people. As the investigations continue, the ZRP is calling on the public to avoid taking part in these gatherings and to report any information that may help in their crackdown. So, and I was submitted to say, and I was wow. What could be the reason, for someone attending a sexy party?
Reasons atina.
No reasons?
Atina. But
you know what, guys? I've never attended one in my lifetime.
Would you want to?
Not even.
How would we know?
No.
How would
I'm telling you.
No.
You have to believe me. I'm telling you. I've never attended one, and I don't even know
have you ever
what
been
happened.
Have you ever been offered to attend one? Let's start from there.
To be offered to attend one? No.
First thing you know.
No. Maybe because they know that Ollah is a religious person and I'm too, devoted. So probably they respect that. I've never been invited to one. I don't even know what people do there.
Do you have friends that go?
I don't. I don't.
Do you have friends, Ollah?
That's a very good question. That's a very good question.
Because it's denying everything.
No, not like everything.
Ollah, if I attended a sex
honestly speaking, I think I have a few friends, if not two, it might be one.
Ollah, have you attended a sex party?
Not even.
All right.
And I will never.
Okay.
I have no kana curiosity hapana kana funga kuti ndira kuenda ikoko andina because I don't understand chinoitika ku sex party chinoitika.
Wadi kuenda?
Unaenda ne boyfriend yako uisa DJ angakamboridza ku sex party.
No, ini ndirongoona kuti ukuramba
not as a DJ.
Ukuramba
as a participant.
Kana ini ndopisa unaontongoza
wakapisa ku sex party.
Ini ndopisa ina handiti izvozvo.
Wakapisa ku sex party.
Ku sex party kunoda vanhu vai.
Vapi?
Vai. Isusu tinosumudzwa nevanhu chaiva my heavy.
Oh, it's gava. But I want to understand. Yeah. Kunonyazoitwe on a more serious note.
Honestly, I don't know. It's just I think it's just a party with sex, I guess, right?
With your boyfriend or with a random guy.
I think zvatoptional. Pamwe vanenge vakunyorana pamwe kune marules hatizozivi kuti maybe auye nemunhu wako ndoene munhu wako. I mean,
what happens there?
I remember this case I think it was Kwadzana.
Warren Park or something?
Yeah. Where people were arrested.
I remember the story.
Zvichinzi vangotori even ne protection yavo.
Vagadzirira.
They were all undressed.
Yeah.
Vakabatwa zvakatoiva.
Somehow it's like recruiting porn stars somehow.
So vanongachita vese.
Kuita ngochoita.
Simultaneously or in
simultaneously.
No, it's like I think when you change it, chip don't pin down. Something like that.
I think
like it's okay.
I was getting there.
No, but it's okay. But there's kuti kuchinjanwa. Vana vachichinjana. Alright, chimbo imagine ndona nebaby rangu chercherere pamwe ku sex party rochinjanwa
avaende nevanhu vava semsem navarume vanochita ndavachite nevakadzi vavo andona nemasaichika.
So I think and ozona umwe munhu ari kucelebrate baby rangu oteka baby rangu iPhone bebhi radotengera iphone rangatori ku6 party
kana mufesi wacho
richichinjana
bhebhi rako chinhu
Atatuwe.
kachikuzoti bhebhi rangu
Unoita nezveyo.
haradram
but sometimes unoona kuti nishadhaya ka time tavanenge ri
pakuti
ukana bebhi risiri virgin ka usaitrust
iwe
nemwese
sex party iyi ndevanhu
Bozi zvese zvinoitika.
itu magenda kusex party hakusuti vakadzi vakuti masex party vega murume nemukadzi
kunenge kwakawanda
varume kuna
varume zvekunakirwa vanoda
varume 44
varume zvekunakirwa vanoda boys
nevakadzi but because you guys mati dzvinya tinonyara kukudzai tinodowo kufara zvekufara ndezvedu but munoti pfidigira vanhu vakuita mapati $20 but wendi mari yachipa
let's take a brief
private location.
Yeah, let's take a brief look at something controversial but rooted, you know, in human history. The origin of sex parties. You know, the earliest non-sex parties date back around 2000 BCE in Mesopotamia and ancient Egypt, where sex was part of religious rituals. These sacred rites were often linked to fertility and were seen as offerings to the gods. Fast forward to ancient Greece and Rome between 500 BCE and 300 CE. The practice became more social. Festivals like the Bacchanalia in honor of Bacchus, the god of wine, often included public intoxication, dancing, and mass orgies. These were events of pleasure, power, and even politics. In the 1700s, during Europe's Enlightenment period, elite secret socialites such as Britain's Hellfire Club hosted private sex parties behind closed doors. These gatherings were attended by wealthy men, sometimes even politicians, and included costumes, rituals, and taboo-breaking activities. By the 1960s, the free love era exploded in the West. In the US and the parts of Europe, sex parties became part of the sexual revolution. Swinger parties and key parties where couples swapped partners grew popular among middle-class suburbanites. Today, sex parties come in many forms, from exclusive mansion gatherings to youth-led underground events like the now infamous Vuzu parties in Southern Africa. While modern tech, you know, makes organizing easier, the social, legal, and health risks are also higher than ever. From ancient temples to private chat groups, sex parties have evolved, but their power to challenge norms, spark controversy, and raise concerns remains. So, maona kuti hazvisi zvanhasi
zvakavhakarizve
Angazoti ndezvadhidhi chete.
wazoere
Didhi yakanga yatotedzwa kusaitwa kudhara.
hapana ola maona ka hazvisi zvanhasi
Ndabata pama-rituals.
Zvabva kure zvinhu izvi.
Zvakatanga zviri zvema-rituals.
iwe ritual
Saka hapana
anozoti ritual
ama
risi bed
2000
weight.
iritual ripi richitwa.
no kuti ritual risi bed weight munogara muchirikanganisa. I see it when people say ma-rituals.
Aiwa, but tingoti ritual
A
ripi
ritual
ripi.
could be even through zvamuchristianity you can do a ritual.
It's okay, but kuti iri ritual ripi rikaitwa.
Revuzu. Pavuzu apa paida kutorwa ritual ratisi kuziya. But paida kurwa ritual. Information asati
Tesa hatisi kuriziya zvedu.
pakona kari ritual rekunakiro.
Yeah, but I think
But asati ari bati.
mwana akaparidzwa. Mwana ane morals, principles, also anda kuchengetedza integrity yake nedignity yake. Aite zvinhu zvakadaro.
Ko ashida
Chero mukufara, imo mukuda kumboexplora zvinhu ndo munobva nyaya idzodzi. Mukuda kuti
ko
gamboexplora
akada kuita kunge Solomon.
kapeer pressure.
Ko akada kuita kunge Solomon.
King Solo.
Musikana ere ari mukomana.
Zvese?
Zvinogona
As it makes a difference. whether
Hapana
it's a guy
difference
or-
cha Ola. Hapana female or
Yeah,
male.
it makes a difference because
How?
mukomana it's much easier.
Oh.
In fact, okay. This issue
Pashata.
is a bit sensitive and also it controversial, complicated.
Pachasamwiwa pano.
A better threesome.
What?
No, I'm asking you this. A better threesome, for example.
What?
Which one is the better threesome? 2 guys with 1 girl, or 2 girls with one guy? Which one is a better threesome?
No, that took a fast turn.
Yeah, a fast turn, but no, she mentioned King Solomon, and I said okay, because that didn't go to kuanda kwemadzimai pamunhu one. But in this case, the lati
kuona kuti Solomon zvaakaita
abali mudaira ibvunzo amirai ndorasika
tikaona mukadzi anokwanisa kutowanza varume paarea yake anogona kutobudirira.
It's a taboo.
Inyaya kuti kutya haisi
It's a taboo.
kana
no, it's taboo.
There's some African ethnic groups that do that.
Kuti varume hobo
unozoti because
it's
varume wakawanda pamukadzi one.
It becomes a matriarchal society.
Okay, it's okay, but answer my question.
tikagarira because une mukomana one and achitengera iPhone vakaita 4
vari official
vanozivana vakaita 4
hapana kwatiri kuenda
unogona kupinda muland cruise.
But answer my question now.
Munotengera munda, munotengera
You guys, muri kutya here kudare mubvunzo wangu. Are you afraid? Are you scared to just answer me?
Ukaita vakadzi 20 mari
20 stop there. Yeah. Answer my question.
There's no better threesome all in all. You need to be jealous of your partner. Why would you allow your partner to sleep with another person?
Okay.
You people.
Aisha.
I will answer that with another question. What is a threesome?
A threesome is whereby 3 individuals. Yeah. 3 individuals in the same room doing same thing at the same time. So what's the take on that?
I just find the whole concept weird, honestly. I can't.
Have you ever been, in a threesome situation? And do you think it's a really good thing?
Yes, in the same situation. You
Okay.
actually plan it.
My question is a threesome. No, but it's okay. We don't do judging anyone.
Comment section. Threesome,
but my question is, but threesome pacho. It's a very concerning issue. The threesome pane boyfriend ne girlfriend yemunhu ere ondanana ipapo tauti mangosangana marandom person mangoti munongonakirwa zvenyumba chenyu
zvandimati mamuzvifarira siyana anofara kufarira
atira kubvunza I'm learning for learning purposes.
Don't learn, you don't
research,
want to do it.
Research.
No.
I'm researching, guys.
Ola pane vanga vanhu vatori mamarriage yekushanda mathreesome. They can
what marriage?
Yes, you can indulge another person.
Kushita uya kunokuti tibatsirana.
Yes. Yeah, this case is a very valid issue.
Munhu
hey. Ukona to akutojaja.
Kujaja. I'm imagining. My imagination.
Vari kuzvifarira hoyo vari kufara.
But honestly, threesome in ndau yangu nokambozviita kuti ndeipi chamaka enjoy inenge ine 2 guys pa 1 baby here kana kuti 2 mababy aine 1 muface ndeipi threesome yamakaita that you enjoyed kati yaunofunga kuti iyi yakapenga. But at the same time mumubvunzo ndekuti ipapo pamwe muchita pacho ndoda kungoziva kuti uyu anenge ari baby wako chaicha here waunongoti ngatizotsvagai mumwe 1 plus sometimes in many cases ndiani anouya neidea yekuti ngatitsvage wechi 3
murume
maybe munhu iye asugutsikana someone ndosuspect kuti munhu anoti ndachage third part anenge asugutsikana.
I think we should get a psychologist on the show who explains.
Asinya psychology mazwano nye. Musanyeperera psychology.
Ko threesome baba but unaza banyeza jo. Ko threesome mimba ikabata.
Munotoisa ko section yakanyanja zvatongoto mistake. Nya did is a simple example. Some men prefer threesome with other men. Did angana case and but I prefer threesome ite mwe murume.
Wanaita kuti mukadzi.
Anorara nemukadzi wake. Obvarara futi iye nemukadzi wake wazvibata. So zvinhu zviri selective.
Sodoma negomora. Aiwa Sodoma negomora.
Musajaje vanhu. Vanhu varikuita zvavari kuita.
Sodoma negomora.
Musajaje
vanhu.
Yaya wakambozviiterei.
No, I know.
Wewe urusajaje vanhu ka.
Not a biased journalist ka. Ndoona vanhu nezvavano believe. Ndoti handivajaji nongoona because vanhu vanoramba atisikuita wozona nyaya dzavo dzakubuda avangochita 7 some tozokunyarire.
But yeah, Aisha, would you take part if invited? You guys are having drinks, then you've been invited to say, come let's have a threesome.
Guys, remember
there's money involved or no money involved.
Kids show, please.
Okay. Takunzira tsitsi. Yeah, it's okay. But in conclusion, last nyaya dzatinadzo nhasi patrending story talk by dzese tinobata nyaya dzese. America bombs Iran hits back. What America did on the 21st of June 2025, the United States dropped bombs and missiles on Iran's nuclear sites. The attack destroyed 3 big underground locations where Iran was working on the nuclear energy. So America said it was a big success. They used powerful planes and special bunker buster bombs. So how did Iran respond? Iran on the 23rd of June, Iran fired 19 missiles at a U.S. base in Qatar. Luckily, no one was killed or injured, but because most of the missiles were stopped. Also, Iran also warned it might block the Strait of Hormuz, which is an important sea path for oil. No, for oil, so that's strait. It's like a path. Right, no problem. Sheep, yeah. So what Trump said, Trump called Iran's attack very weak and thanked them for giving a warning. He said it's time for peace and not war. Putin said Russia's U.S. bombing was unprovoked aggression. He supported the Iran with words and offered help with information, but not weapons. So I don't know why did America bomb? Bombed. My nuclear places Aisha.
So, America, that is to say Trump, believes that Iran is building nuclear weapons secretly. So the US wanted to stop Iran before it becomes dangerous. They said it would protect the world from a possible future attack, and the bombing was meant to destroy places where Iran is doing this work. Okay.
But I also heard that though the US bomb the nuclear sites, but the equipment didn't get to move already from the sites after they'd been tipped off. Say those then baka remove from the sides. So but there was nothing.
There was no major damage.
Yeah. What did there was nothing like so it means my nuclear now. And I go affected from what I saw on social media as well, and those Iran state media as well. So was Iran's response a real threat or just a warning? That's the biggest question.
I feel like a lot of powers right now have nuclear power. Even the US have nuclear power. China actually has nuclear power, low key. They just don't want to talk about it. But Vakanda ni mari vanadzo. Isusu hatina. That could be interesting.
Exactly.
That would be so. If we have enough money to make nuclear power.
Yeah. But in response, Iran's response looks more like a warning than a full attack. They fired missiles at a US base, but they gave a heads up, and no one was ahead. It seems like they wanted to show they won't stay silent, but also didn't want to start a full war.
Yeah, that's true.
So we don't know if Trump is about peace or just trying to look calm. From the way my Twitter, Trump says he wants peace and even thanked Iran for not killing anyone. Some say he's being clever and careful, trying not to look weak, but also avoiding a bigger fight. Whether he's truly serious or just playing politics depends on what he does next. So we are following closely nyaya dziri kuitika iko kunzoko Iran, Israel, America,
now Russia,
Qatar. It was about to trigger a World War III, right? It was almost a World War III.
I feel like
history only makes sense in retrospect when you go back.
Yeah. Allies. It only history.
But the World War III started in 2018.
Bibi Netanyahu achiti zvakati, Trump akati zvakati pamashoko atita kuzoringa tichizvikota like kota ra George Washington tichizvikota papai. But now I think zvinhu zviripo right now ndezvekuti ndanange pakakudata ceasefire there's almost like a ceasefire from announcements akaitwa nezuro and also kuamerica kwato nehoho yekutoti Trump watangire msindo because havasi kuda izvozvozvo but some congressmen are saying it's not an impeachable offense that he did because it was just once. It was not an impeachable offense because it was just a once thing. Because kuti paitwe war, kuti America ipinde mu war, panofana kunge zvaaprovwa neCongress kuti taakuenda kuhondo. That entity ndo inotaura right boys hondo. It's not just a one man band andagatite zvakati. But then now the papa my examples ekuti okay, remember back in 20 what when Osama bin Laden was killed. Zvinonzi Obama akangoita decision yake akati take him down then kuona vangotorwa down but akunozvika kuhondo zhinji but yakakonzeresa nyaya iyoyo ndio ingakupa as a comparison. You wanted to say something? That's the thing. So we see kuti chafamba sei pa ceasefire but ceasefire nemashoko autaura napieces ekuti nana Trump peace kuti at least Israel neIran yacho yese yawina peace to the Middle East
peace manje pareka kunyangirana tichangoona zvedu isusu kwatiri kunoti okay atitombopindira ndonyaya.
But the thing is World War 3 you cannot say hatikupindira kana hondo yatotanga because zvinoita manje it's about my alliances. Do you understand the alliance system?
Russia yatokuside kweIran.
Remember Russia, remember Iran, right? Remember China and Zimbabwe. These countries, my alliances, my allies, in fact, Aisha, you understand that Iran is our ally.
How?
Iran is not supported in different. Remember, when was it when the Iranians in recently? I think few years back. And also, China is also our ally. It supports
Russia
military. Russia, right? Are you aware that there are steps? I saw recently who is the minister of
Zimbabwe takapinda BRICS. That's what
we are planning aisatapinda but tichakuda ku BRICS ine chi
that is Russia, South Africa.
There's no Iran, I'm sure, right?
There's Iran. The I for BRICS is Iran.
B is for Brazil.
The
I is for Russia.
Russia.
The I is for
Iran.
C is for China.
South Africa. Then Zimbabwe. So you see what I'm saying? So you cannot say we are not going to be part of the war. If it means Chachaya.
No, but besides Kuti being part of the war and actively fighting her, I think war just like affects trade, world trade.
100%. Of course.
So originally BRICS had
like pangapa ida kuvarwa like this home is straight ida kuvarwa. Deka ida kuvarwa. Obviously oil price was going to be up. Because panofamba kane oil pachitoti tavhara ka
tishada
itakupa kustavisa ika atikukupai it was going to be a mess saka itanga easily pane nyika ukarapa hondo ka ukarapa hondo pane nyika dzikafana kutomborwana idzo dzikarowana dzosoka it will be a world war 1-on-1.
So BRICS originally had Brazil, Russia, India, and China.
So it's India.
Yes, India. And then Saudi Arabia, UAE joined, Ethiopia, Egypt, and also Iran joined.
It's India.
It's India. Like I said, BRICS had Iran.
But Iran is there,
India.
Right?
They later joined.
Iran is
South
there,
Africa.
But it's there, Iran.
Now Zimbabwe takuda join. You understand?
So India,
so usually I think panotanga ally is also when you have a military understanding with other countries. Saka tichaongo not tichenda kupi but for now it's okay.
You don't pamberi nerunyararo. Toda runyararo. Waitangire muzindo. Uchiutangire.
Oh, yanzu mama no yenga revelation.
It's okay, guys. The Ollah podcast is probably powered by Giant Media. At Giant Media, we bring your vision to life with top-tier photography and videography for all the events, from weddings, parties, concerts, corporate gigs, planning something big. Let us handle it with our expert event planning, advertising and marketing strategy services that make your brand stand out. You need a studio? We've got this space and the gear where, if you want the vibe, our vibrant MCs. As you can see, there's Ollah 7, there's Yayha. You know, we can come and do the event like never before. Like, you know, not also talk to Chimanya. And also, if you're looking for, if you are looking to advertise on the Ollah 7 podcast and across our platforms, get in touch with Mr. Sheikman Mandishona. He's our marketing executive on 0774 690 078 0774 690 078. Your brand deserves to be heard. Giant Media, we don't just capture moments, we create unforgettable experiences. We say hashtag changing the narrative. We change the narrative in any way as Giant Media. So if you need MCs, we are here. If you need a DJ, a female DJ, don't look anywhere else. She's here, right here. We give you everything. It's a package. Photography, videography, wedding, party, Giant Media. This is Giant Media. So Ollah 7 is under the Giant Media. So yeah, guys, thank you so much for watching. It's always hard to say goodbye.
I know I hate this moment, but yeah, we have to go to October. I should do sharp things.
Yeah, I hope you guys. What? Sorry, say it again.
Sharp things.
Are we still talking about the podcast? Okay. All right. No, I'm just asking. I thought maybe you're referring to the food, but it's okay. Yeah, all right. No, that's fine. Thank you so much, guys, for watching. Until next time, we're back again next week, Wednesday, with the same show, trending stories, some juicy stuff. Bye-bye.